said, and he was in Atlantic City because a lot of it takes place in Vegas, and they used a casino. He just he himself called in saying, "Hold for Mr. Snyder."
Yeah.
He calls in Casey. I remember your reaction. like no S?
Yeah.
The director?
What?
Super nice guy, and we're very happy to count him as a friend. So, Zach, happy birthday to you. 57 years old today. All right, we'll see if we can get an answer to the stupid question this morning. What future politician was Tommy Lee Jones' upperclassman roommate at Harvard University? 215-263-WMMR. We go to Anthony. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, Ed.
All right, good morning it to you. All right, Anthony, who was the roommate of Tommy Lee Jones at Harvard?
Was it Al Gore?
It was Al Gore. Hang on a second, Anthony.
Let's go huff some paint.
We're going to set you up with a pair of tickets to see the Head and the Heart and the Revivalist Wednesday, July 12th at the Skyline Stage of the Man. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster. Complete info at WMMR.com. You think you ever showed him his happy face?
Yeah, show me happy face.
Yeah.
Happy face.
Hey, quick little shot.
I actually don't have any other face but this one. It's locked. It's like that Avengers button in your car.
Kathy doesn't.
She still doesn't understand it.
No, you guys did a terrible job explaining it. I looked it up. I understand it now. It's if you have an automatic shut-off option on your engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say that.
Okay.
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did, but
we
it's
a million
okay.
different ways. But anyhow.
All right.
Sounds like a fight's brewing.
Well, but when she said, I listened to him explain it to her. When
Well,
she
I
says
said,
that,
so my car could potentially not have that. And he goes, oh, well, okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, your car could potentially not have
Right,
that.
correct.
We weren't saying,
Well, I
I wasn't
have that,
saying
which is
your
why I didn't
model
understand
car.
it.
I was just saying cars that have this
Right.
feature. That's what that button means.
Right, but yeah, right, okay.
Getting hot in
Let's
here.
move on.
Okay. Evan.
Sometimes you guys don't explain things correctly. That's all.
Wolf. She's thrown down.
I get it's okay.
I wouldn't
get it
stand
now.
for that if I were you.
now want to go back to the audio of when we explained it on the air to you.
There was off-air explanation as well.
Okay.
And I thought that was very thorough.
I was writing it all down as you guys were talking.
Oh, you
off
did?
air.
You
Yeah.
weren't in
Transcribed.
here.
I was, oh my God. I was right here.
Oh my God. All right. Maybe it's
Guys,
me.
I got stories
He's
here.
got stories.
Standing right here.
I believe we first discussed it when Tim Daly was in the studio.
I saw him in the picture. I feel like he was here.
No.
Yeah. Just move on.
Hey, guys, Evan Rachel Wood
All right.
filed a declaration with the Los Angeles Superior Court on Monday in connection with Marilyn Manson's defamation lawsuit against her, denying the recent claims made by Manson's former accuser, Ashley Morgan Smithline. And so the actress said, I never pressured or manipulated Ashley Morgan Smithline to make any accusations against Manson, and certainly never pressured or manipulated her to make accusations that were not true. This is what this woman claimed. She said she dropped the suit against Marilyn Manson and said, Evan Rachel Wood pressured me to do this. So Wood added that Smithline had reached out to her on Instagram in March of 2019, providing screenshots of the interactions. Also, in the filing, the actress included voicemails left by Smithline for a friend in June of 2022, during which she refers to Manson lawyer Howard King. She says, he called. I'll play the message. It says, Hi, Ashley. This is Howard King. I'd like to speak with you just one-on-one directly, no lawyers or something, he said. And, just talk like people. Smithline allegedly says in one of the voicemails, a quote, and the reason why he would be calling me at all a week ago and leaving messages is that he thinks I'm the weak link and he might want to settle with me to turn on the other girls and say that it was all just like a ruse. So
all of this is conceivable.
Yeah.
Every element of this has an element that could be truthful. I don't know how you work your way through this crap.
Yeah, I don't know. So she's...
Tim Daly would know.
Evan Rachel Wood is now saying that that's a bunch of garbage. Another Rust lawsuit was filed against Alec Baldwin and the film's producers on Monday, this time by 3 crew members. Ross Adigio, Doran Curtin, and Reese Price alleged that they each suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder following the fatal shooting of...
better watch yourselves because I'll shoot you too.
Helena Hutchins. The suit states that all 3 were close by when the shooting took place and suffered blast injuries from the sound of the gun firing. The documents also state that Hutchins fell to the ground right in front of Curtin. So the lawsuit also claims that producers cut corners because they wanted a quick and cheap production as well, and that's part of
they did.
this whole thing.
Yeah, that's verifiable.
Let me ask you guys a hypothetical question about this whole situation, because it seems to me like Alec Baldwin could make this stuff go away by just acknowledging that he pulled the trigger. Somebody died. It's an awful, tragic thing that happened. It wasn't intentional. So acknowledge that and settle.
I don't think it would go away with that.
You don't think so?
No. And he did not. He
charging
said the gun went off. Casey said he did not pull the trigger. He said the gun went off.
He said he cocked the
Right.
Yeah, the hammer. He didn't actually pull the trigger. But
I'm just saying, if he acknowledged some culpability,
He could have
tamped.
He could have
absolutely.
He could have controlled it a little more. I guarantee you that ABC interview he gave initially, right after it happened,
where he
his
flat out
lawyers were
lied.
saying, "Don't do this."
Yeah, I mean, and like if you just you acknowledge the fact that your actions led to somebody
Yeah, I
else's
shot
death.
him, and I'm going to shoot you too.
Well, listen, a family member died because of some sort of negligence. There's no way there's not going to be repercussions for this anyway around, no matter what anybody says.
I know. I'm just saying that I think he handled it poorly from the get-go.
No, he did. He clearly did. But and he settled. There was a monetary settlement with one of the parties that he paid off. We'll see how this plays out. He's not facing, when all is said and done, if he serves any jail time, which I find hard to believe, what started out as many years, possibly up to 20 years, is now down in the 18-month range, and I can't see that happening.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Yep.
All I know is that his wife is from Spain.
In the meantime, on Sunday, Khloe Kardashian shared a gym selfie to Instagram in which she had a small scar strip on her face.
It was a cool thing. She was actually, Preston, she was curling 2 of the full weight machines.
Wow. Somebody had commented, writing, "What the heck is on your cheek?" And she replied, "A bandage. I had a tumor removed from my face, but I'm totally okay.
Toads.
Thank you for asking." She had first opened up about her skin cancer scare in October of 2022. And another comment, Kardashian said, "I had a tumor removed from my face a few months ago, so I wear this for healing and the prevention of my scar getting worse. All is great and healing wonderfully," she said.
Kathy, you go to the gym quite often, probably like 5-6 days a week, something like that.
Take selfies.
Do you also go in full makeup, right? Like she is
Full makeup.
like full on, like she's going to the Met Gala makeup.
Her boobs are hanging out. That doesn't look like a sports bra to me. Has jewelry on. Yeah, that's how I go to the gym.
You're right about that, Case. If you're going to go and sweat, the last thing you're going to do is put your face on, right?
Listen, there are people, I have friends who don't leave the house unless they have a full face of makeup on, whether they're going to the gym or they're going to work, or it doesn't matter where they're going. So if she's one of those people, that's just who they are. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, this has been a thing on social media. First, there was the women posting videos of them. And mind you, if you're a creeper, you shouldn't be ogling people at a gym, and you should let people work out. And, everyone has their own right to be there in whatever condition they are there. But they show up like totally decked out, Preston, and people are looking at them, and it looks like they're trying to get attention. I mean, they're
Dressed and looked like that?
Like, yes.
Yeah,
And so there started to occur online blowback from people going, obviously, to elicit that response. Who would work out this way with all this jewelry on the way?
Well,
So you're saying people go to the gym and try to get people to ogle at them and get pictures of them
and get
and
video
post them?
to post on social media. Yes.
They do that on purpose?
Yes.
Or is that what people think people are doing
That's
on
what
purpose?
people have admitted to doing on
Really?
purpose. Yes.
Okay.
So that happens.
I see a
Go
lot of it.
figure that someone would try to do something for viral hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen it, like where
Exactly.
Oh, this guy. Oh, he comes up and people comment like, that guy's being nice to you.
He's being nice.
What's your
Yeah.
problem?
There's like a whole month.
I've seen it.
Once that started to happen, they started to reel back and say, "Oh, I guess he just wanted to use the equipment."
I was at the gym yesterday. If anybody took a picture or it is not a scene like this. You're sweating. You're disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm like
right.
crying, hoping that it's going to be over soon.
You know what, Steve? Because I've seen those videos and so generally, I just don't really talk to anybody.
No.
Because I want to be supportive to people.
Yeah.
But then I don't want people to take it the wrong way. Like, oh, what do you mean by that? Whether it's a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you shouldn't be sitting there with binoculars looking at someone.
Yeah.
But
God, I love your ass.
yeah.
You work really hard on that, don't you?
noticing your ass. Do you need a spotter so I can look at your ass?
All right. Here's some other things. Page 6 reports that Chris Rock will indeed, and we all knew this anyway, be commenting on the Will Smith slap at the Academy Awards in his live Netflix special on Saturday, which is this Saturday, March 4th.
Wow, I am looking forward to this. I wonder what the numbers will be for this.
A source told the outlet, if you were waiting to see Rock on tour address the famous Will Smith slap situation, the comedian is waiting to spill his humorous take on his live Netflix stand-up special.
I forget, is he also going to appear at the Oscars this year? Chris Rock, I mean?
Oh, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. I don't. Yeah.
Who's the host? Is it
Jimmy
It's Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, and it's not this weekend, it's the next weekend that the Oscars take place.
Let's see. It's not this. What's that?
It's not this Sunday that the Oscars take place. It's next Sunday.
They bumped it because of the Cardboard Classic.
Yes.
So, obviously,
man.
they needed to do that. So this is going to be on Saturday, the Chris Rock live Netflix special. We'll see how that whole live thing plays out as well. Kathy sent me this. I'm not sure if this already aired or not, but Pink showed her brotherly love and sisterly affection for Bucks County. On it says on TV Monday morning. Was this past Monday or is it upcoming?
What was the show? Was it
Drew Barrymore
Drew Barrymore,
show.
right?
Mhm.
I think it already aired.
So the background set usually shows New York City, but it changed to Philadelphia.
Oh,
and
finally.
she also talked about the first time that she met Drew. She said, I was sitting on Melrose Avenue on the concrete outside of a hair salon waiting for a bleach to kick in, and Drew walked by, and I go, oh, Drew, I love you. You don't know, but maybe one day you might. And I did a book report on Little Girl Lost in 7th grade, and you made me feel less alone, knowing that you are in the world walking around the same as me. So, yeah, she had him put Philadelphia up, which was pretty cool. I thought that was nice.
That is cool.
Yeah. Jon Hamm and Anna Asciola are engaged.
Who's she again?
She was in Fletch, the Confess Fletch film with him.
I finally watched it.
Oh,
yeah?
I liked it. I
it?
liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I could see this continuing with the series as him.
All right.
I mean, it's not Chevy Chase, obviously.
No, but the source material is the same, and I
It's
think
the same, yeah.
But it wasn't until like he made one joke, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Fletch he's a witty,
right.
dry sense of humor person,
and it plays well.
Yep.
I heard, and you guys can, I haven't seen it yet, but this is more of a detective story
Yes.
with comedic aspects.
Yes.
Okay.
So they've been together for 2 years. They first reportedly met on the set of AMC series Mad Men in 2015 before being spotted together on several occasions and romantically linked in 2020.
It's Mad Men.
Mad Men, I'm sorry. Asciola appeared in the series' final episode. She had a small role playing a receptionist and a spiritual California. She was at a place called Elysian, a spiritual California retreat that Hamm's character attended at the time. Hamm was in a long-term relationship with Jennifer Westfeldt. They split months after 18 years together. Hamm and Asciola have both kept off social media, and they were photographed together once in 2017. Romance rumors took off in 2020, and then they were seen out multiple times after that. In fact, they were seen stepping out for meals, playing tennis, and enjoying a day at the beach.
No pickleball?
No pickleball. They did take a vacation to Italy together.
Were they spotted canoodling?
In 2021. No, they were spotted canoodling.
Right, because it's Italy.
In Italy. Yeah. In March, they made their red carpet debut at an Oscars after party, and so now they're getting engaged. So they would be married.
It's a love story for the ages.
I'm not sure when they're getting married, but they are going to do it. So Zendaya has negotiated a new deal with HBO and the show Euphoria that will make her one of the highest paid television actors in Hollywood and maybe the youngest to land such a deal. She'll now be raking in about $1 million per episode for her deeply poignant portrayal of the series' central character, Rue Bennett, a tortured high school student who grapples with substance abuse in the wake of her father's death.
She deserves it. She's really good.
Yeah, she is.
Watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and that's a supporting character. But the subtleties and the comedic stuff, along with the heavy stuff, she handles it effortlessly.
I watched you. I think you watched the SAG Awards the other night, and I watched her present, and I always thought she was, a pretty girl, but she was standing on the stage presenting, and I was like, okay, you are like beautiful,
Right,
and elegant,
Are you saying that to me, or are you just recounting?
Yeah, and then I was like, what do you think of Zendaya, Steve?
I think she's attractive as well.
Dear
I mean, I don't deserve all of that adoration. please save some for Zendaya.
Euphoria has been one of the buzzier shows of the last few years. Some love it, some hate it, but most everyone agrees Zendaya gives a performance worth celebrating. The high school drama shot its cast to stardom, and while Zendaya, Disney Channel alum, was no stranger to the spotlight, it was Euphoria that dropped the veil on her range and dramatic acting chops. And in 2020, she made Emmy Awards history when at 24, she became the youngest actor to take home the trophy for Best Lead Actress in a Drama. And in 2022, she made history again when she became the only black woman to win 2 Emmy Awards for Best Lead Actress in a Drama. And with the $1 million per episode, she'll be sitting pretty relative to her Euphoria co-star Sydney Sweeney, who spoke with Hollywood Reporter last year about the financial woes of acting. She said, if I wanted to take a 6-month break, I don't have the income to cover that. I don't have someone supporting me. I don't have anyone that I can turn to pay my bills or call for help. She said, they don't pay actors like they used to. And with streamers, you no longer get residuals. She said the established stars still get paid, but I have to give 5% to my lawyer, 10% to my agents, 3% to something like that to my business manager, and I have to pay my publicist every month. So that's more than my mortgage. So there are costs involved with being in that business, obviously.
Sydney Sweeney's star is on the rise. First season of White Lotus as well, and she's making the rounds. A lot of movies coming out.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we're doing clips. Yeah,
Yes,
the clips are just in.
Piping hot.
All right, we'll start with this. For 23 years, Survivor has taught viewers how to outwit, outlast, and outplay opponents both in the jungle and in daily life. And here, host Jeff Probst discusses the hard truths of the show.
Survivor's not a shiny stage show. Right. It's not a trivia where you answer a question. This is on you. We're going to dump you. There's no cheat. There's no secrets. There's no hidden door. There's no bathroom. There's no candy bar. Shut the up!
So season 44, wow, of Survivor.
44.
Premieres tonight at 8 on CBS. Season 44.
No interest. There at the beginning, I was so in on that first season.
Yeah.
Incredibly so. Even the second and third.
Yeah.
And then what you had the template form.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then people just fulfilled roles on the show.
I'd still like to be on it, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to be Jeff Probst on Survivor.
Oh, geez.
Even better.
Yeah.
Next clip. Not all stars of The Mandalorian are excited with the character's development here. Actress Emily Swallow discusses a new life for her character. Here we go.
I try to just suggest where the armorer could go, because maybe she's not just an armorer. Maybe she has other hopes and dreams. Maybe she would like to open a little karaoke bar for her Mandalorian friends.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby. Oh, yeah.
The Mandalorian Season 3 returns to Disney Plus today, by the way.
It's funny. You've never seen her face because she's one of the Mandalorians that never takes her helmet off.
Okay.
Have you, did you take any sample of The Mandalorian, Preston, or does that hold any interest to
I
you?
watched first couple episodes and nope.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm done with Star Wars.
Right.
I God bless you if you love it, but it's just not my thing anymore.
The Mandalorian, I love legitimately, and Andor was. So those are the two I think solid series in the Star Wars stuff. But the Mandalorian actually a little bit more so.
Yeah, it got to be too much for me.
Yeah, no,
So,
there's only. I mean, listen. You need time to pleasure yourself.
That's and there's only so many minutes in the day.
Yeah.
So that's the entertainment report for today, my friend. We are going to take a break. We're going to go on Fox Good Day today. We have a secret text word, by the way, a chance for you to win tickets to the Second City Swipes Right event. It's a comedy event at the Kimmel Cultural Campus. So text the word secret to 39333. You might win. And while you got the phone out, why don't you be caller number 18? I'll give you a $25 Rita's Water Ice gift card right now. Caller number 18. The wait is over. Rita's is now open and serving up all of your favorite frozen treats. Stop by for some happiness with a delicious Italian ice or creamy frozen custard. And Casey will be on location today.
I'll be at the one on Eagle Road in Havertown.
And that is what time?
3 to 5.
All right, excellent. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah. I think you should let him off with time served. Giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent. I'm finding you innocent.
I object.
There's no way that's legal.
It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep now.
That would be...
I would watch it.
brilliant.
I would totally
Attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah. And he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri. He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear a Would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God. Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
Yeah.
with his law career.
Law school.
With this, yeah.
Passing the bar.
Mr. Kenobi, do you have anything to say? John Houseman.
So anyhow, we'll see when that eventually
He gets his own
surfaces.
judge show.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This bitch still got my TV. Give the TV back.
He's settling these small claims cases.
It's like Sam
This
People.
bitch still got my TV.
Oh my God. Oh.
I suggest you return the TV. Give me the TV.
All right, TMZ reports that Daveigh Chase. Now, I looked her up, and it says she started the ring. She was Samara. She's the psycho.
Yes.
The scary girl.
The girl in the well.
And by the way, turns out she's gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
She was arrested, and she was arrested on a drug possession charge and spent some time behind bars. Yeah.
But she escaped through the television, didn't she?
She did. She managed to get
I
out
knew
of there
we were
through the
going that
TV.
way.
But she's had some run-ins. Last year, she was locked up after cops pulled her over for joyriding in an allegedly stolen car.
She was locked up for 7 days.
Is the phone rings after
Right.
7 days or something like
In
that?
7 days. Yeah, that's when you die. You have 7 days to get your affairs in order before you're... 7 days.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. 6.5.
7 business days.
Business days? So that means I get the weekend, too?
Well, it's Monday's Labor Day, so about 8 days. All right, just stay there. I'm going to come over and kill you now.
Yeah, if you could be more specific, it might help in planning. So,
What if I go across the international date line? Let me get back to you.
coming up soon, we'll be addressing Halloween. But
Yes.
it's a favorite costume for Halloween parties and haunted houses.
Which is the one where you go to where they have a girl who really does the full, clicking and the whole body gesticulation.
Penhurst?
No, it's there's probably one there, but there's one, maybe it's
one
it's the one way out where we
what
always
you're
get
talking
lost
about.
going to.
It's in Bucks County.
Yeah.
I know exactly the one you're
but
talking
the girl
Valley
who
of
does
Fear?
Nah.
Might be.
Valley of Fear.
It's out kind of in a woodsy area.
It's Grotto of Consternation is the name of it.
Hang on. Chrissy is on the line to tell us about that haunted attraction. And it is Valley of Fear, isn't it? So it's Valley of Fear?
It is Valley of Fear, and the girl who does play the one from The Ring, who was there for a long time. Liz is just a phenomenal singer too. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, she's incredible. She's incredibly talented.
And she was good. It says you were moving along, she'd move along, and she never sang really, but she
didn't
I'm
sing.
the chick from The Ring, and I'm coming after you.
So her name is Liz?
Yes, Liz.
All right, cool. Thank you, Chrissy. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Cause in 7 days
See ya.
you're through. Chop-a-da-ba.
All right.
It's not that scary.
I know, it's not scary when you sing it.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be a little less if it were a musical?
I live in a well and my life's kind of hell and I'm coming after you.
My life's kind of hell.
I'm the chick in the well and my life's kind of hell, but I'm a coming after you in 7 days. 7 days.
In 7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Coming after you in 7 days.
Hey.
The Ring, the musical.
Turn my mic on. You turned his mic off.
I didn't turn it off. I think you might have hit the button yourself there, dude.
Uh-oh.
No, there we go. I just hit that button.
All right.
Wait a second. What's going on?
Wait a
What
second.
just happened here?
Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. Your mic will turn off in 7 seconds. What? I don't have a mic.
So, what's going on with Lindsay Lohan and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia?
I'm sorry, I don't kiss and tell.
Mohammed bin Salman is his name.
Hey, Sababin bin Dalbin.
Rumors are Mohammed bin Salman.
Salvin bin Dagbin. I love you.
Mohammed bin Salman.
What?
Rumors are circulating that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who many critics say is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman, and the perpetually beleaguered Lilo have formed a special relationship of some sort.
Wait, is it cupboard get roast beef?
Some believe that he is a dictator and the real power behind the throne of his father, King Salman. So sources spill that he flies her around on his jets and showers her with presents, even gifting her with a credit card.
Oh, it's a Discover card. It pays you for every purchase.
A rep denies the claim.
What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? But sources insist that Lindsay, who has been based partly in Dubai for a few years, is regularly courted by Middle Eastern dignitaries.
I love dictators.
In Saudi culture of late. And
this is Lindsay.
last year declared her intention to make an all-female film dubbed Frame about Saudi Arabian life.
I want to make an all-female version of Steel Magnolias.
It is an all-female. It's already.
God damn it.
If Lindsay is, in fact, good friends with him, she wouldn't be the first Hollywood star to cavort with dictators. Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman, Hilary Swank and Ramzan Kadyrov.
Yes.
Steven Seagal and Vladimir Putin are just a few of the reported Hollywood political odd couples. So Lindsay might be, I don't know, tight with Mohammed bin Salman.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? A former Cape Breton University student says that she regrets not making a formal complaint 3 years ago against a professor who was fired this summer for demanding moose meat, lobster, and sex from a student in exchange for better grades.
In that order?
Moose meat, lobster, and sex.
All right, you don't have moose meat. You don't have lobster.
You got any lobster?
Thanks. All right, look, how about sex?
She said,
Wait, I found some moose meat. Yeah!
She said, I wish I did something back then. I wish I got him fired, Jess Hardy said. Then the situation wouldn't have happened. She was a first-year student and said that Shamal Fernaduple made inappropriate comments and suggestions.
You're going to ruin the day, Fernaduple.
And her appearance and implied that he wanted a sexual relationship with her, and he would say inappropriate things all the time. Now, unfortunately, as the story goes on, it never gets into the details about the moose meat and lobster.
Well, it's a bizarre
That's what I'm
pecking
most
order.
interested in.
Right, yes. You don't understand.
But they ended up firing this guy because he apparently did
Was it the moose meat?
to a couple of students. It was the moose meat.
He's there in front of the dean. It was the moose meat, wasn't it? Well, actually, the number 3 on the list here, the sex.
So apparently he wasn't only demanding sex, but moose meat and lobster.
I should have stopped at lobster.
And they fired him. So there you go. That's all I have in the
It's
details.
like he's looking for something to round out the list.
Yeah.
And the sex.
Yeah. Kourtney Kardashian is fighting back against critics who claim that she does no work.
Preston, are you saying she's clapping back?
She is clapping back, Steve. Yep. And she got some blowback after posting multiple shots from her family vacations in Italy and Idaho. I know.
So what's it going to be, kids? Italy or Idaho?
She's only visiting places that start with I.
Yeah.
And Idaho happened to be on the list. In Italy,
Indiana.
In Italy, the Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Remember Poosh?
I'm sorry, I just pooshed.
Yeah, that's her. Is that her lifestyle brand?
Yeah.
Poosh.
Trying to be like Goop, I guess.
Yeah.
Poosh. I just pooshed in my pants.
People who brought you queef and drippy fart.
But she partied.
Poosh, and queef. The award-winning triple line from Kourtney Kardashian.
The Poosh founder partied with her 3 kids nominally for her sister Kylie's 22nd birthday.
With the subtle scent of salmon.
Several other family members were there, as was her ex, Scott Disick, with whom she shares her children, and his girlfriend, Sophia Richie. Now, in Idaho, Kourtney and her kids...
We're going to Idaho, kids!
...hung with her sister Kendall. One social media user commented, "Kourtney, this is why people say you don't work, girl." And she replied, so she clapped back.
She clapped back.
We all have our
WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. We have a secret text word today, so make sure you text word secret to 39333. You might win tickets to see the Second City Swipes Right tour. It's coming to the Kimmel Cultural Campus March 10th, and tickets are on sale for that now at kimmelculturalcampus.org, so we'll get a winner a little bit later on. We live in a day and age where cars have wonderful features on them. And the subject at hand was, because we started talking about this earlier, I've had this car for years and had no idea that it had this feature on it, that it was capable of doing this. And case in point, and it's a pretty standard feature on most cars, but my sister, I was in Florida and was driving her car for her, and I look over and it had become evening. It was right at dusk, and so I was going to turn the lights on, and I went over because the lights weren't on, and I look over on the little toggle there that have the lights, and I see that it has the auto feature. So when you put it on auto, what happens.
In auto, yeah.
It's dark, lights come on. When it's light out, the lights go off.
And that's been around. That's been around forever on cars at this point.
So I go, Ange, did you ever put your lights on auto? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who are
you? If you put it on here, when it turns dark, the lights will come on automatically, and when it's light out, they'll turn off. And she's like, I did not know it did that. And she's had the car for 4 years, something like that. And then we get out of the car, and we're leaving the car, and she's like, "You're going to turn the lights off?" And I'm like, "They will go off by themselves in about 30 seconds." So just to let you know, that's part of it too.
That's hilarious.
So
all these years.
215-263-WMMR, because Kathy, you had a thing with the heated...
The heated steering wheel. I didn't know I had one. Casey and I drove similar cars, or maybe even the same car for a while. And so he told me years after having it. And that was something that was like you would love that in the wintertime. We have cold winters here. I didn't know. But what I think it is, especially, or at least with me, the last 2 cars that I drove, you get in and they're brand new cars. And whether you get them new or you get them used, it's a new car to you. And there's so much going on. And the reason I switched from Audi to Infiniti was because the Audi had so many features. And I'm like, I'm paying more money for all these features. I don't even know what this car does. It just was so much. It was actually a little overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And over time, you learn more, like your heated steering wheel. But I know that there were things in that car that I never even touched and I never even used. And I'm sure there's some things in my car now, but I feel like my car is a little more simplified and I can use the features that it has and it's not so overwhelming. But even getting in there for the first time, it's like, you take the things that you need when the dealership, the salesperson gives it to you. And then I know with me, if it gets to be too much, I'm like, hold on, let me live with this for a little while. But then you never really move on and find those features sometimes.
The first car that I ever bought for myself was a used car, and I remember vividly getting it and reading the owner's manual. The first new car that I bought was the Mini Cooper that I drove for a few years. I bought that new, read the owner's manual.
Oh my gosh!
Every subsequent car, I haven't even touched the owner's manual. And I think that I'm missing out on stuff. And Casey, you told me 2 years ago about the automatic turn-off function and the way to suspend that. You have to do it every time you drive.
Yeah.
But this is the function that Kathy did not quite understand. Like, you come to a stop at a stop sign, the car shuts down. And I'm mad at myself for not reading the owner's manual. I should have. I just don't.
May I recommend something? Because, I'm a big tech guy. I taught myself, all this stuff, and I'm pretty good with, the car systems and so on and so forth. But at a certain point, I shifted. Go grab a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Go check the videos.
Yeah.
They will lead you through it because they're. My thing was I took my car into service at Cincinnati, and I took it in for service. And a couple days later, I'm walking around and there's like a cover over something under the headlight that's missing. I'm like, somebody vandalized my car. And then I get a call from Audi and go, they say, that thing, the headlight cleaner snapped off when we were cleaning it. And I'm like, what? I had no idea that this thing even existed. So the basic deal was if you were to hit your brights and then hold it, I guess hit it twice, pull the lever back twice, those would engage and clean your headlights.
Okay.
Never knew I had it.
If you buy a brand new car, the salesperson or a tech should walk you through.
I hate that.
All the features, but it's sensory overload. There's too much.
That's what I was saying.
You'll
So
never
much.
retain it all.
The videos.
So the videos are the way to go. And in fact, they used to, car companies used to make instructional videos, and I have found that they don't do that anymore because users on YouTube will go ahead and do it, and they don't have to produce one, and they'll come up with something that's more thorough. You know what I like? Some of the videos to check out are, here's what I learned after owning this car for 3 months.
Exactly.
And as opposed to, here's a brand new car, here's what you do. Here's this. They say, I've had this car for 3 months, and here's what I found out about it.
Yeah.
I love those videos.
Preston, if you're seeing a dealer video, move on.
Yeah.
Get an actual user. They'll show you the things you need to know. There's stuff I don't use every goddamn thing on my car.
Right.
But there's, you want to have all the amenities. My wife sat down, and she got led through that whole dissertation, and she came back and she said, I think I know less about the car now.
Right.
It was so overwhelming.
Do you guys have a situation where, with any sort of regularity, somebody else might drive your car? I know, Nick, you
Yes.
do.
Yeah, I only own one car,
Yeah.
so my girlfriend, my fiance, drives it occasionally.
So it's frustrating because now I have two people that can potentially drive my car, and the problem is like
Two in addition to you.
They're hitting buttons that I'm like, why are you even hitting this button?
Don't hit that button. You need to be like, it needs to be Apollo 13. You need to put a piece of tape. No.
Because my dash is set up, I feel like the way it needs to be set up, where the information sitting in front of you as you're driving is the speed that you're going digitally and how much gas is left in your tank. Specifically, it'll say
and
like
which fish song is playing.
200. Well, no, that's over in the in the console there. But like
63 miles to empty.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
For some reason, whenever somebody else drives my car, they hit a button that makes that magically disappear. I'm like, why are you even touching this?
It's frustrating.
Yeah,
you can set. And most cars have the ability to set your parameters.
I don't have that.
You just push it in, so you can.
Yeah, you can lock it in per user.
Your driver profile.
Yep.
Yeah, it recognizes my face when I sit back down.
Does it recognizes your face?
Yeah, so it goes back to the seat adjustment, and
that's awesome.
But
I have to hit a button.
It's
on the door.
In the door. It's but Preston, you literally sometimes have to like move your head around a little bit.
Preston,
damn it! I got to move my head. First world problem.
You're not Nick.
I know.
You're not Nick.
Yeah.
Your head is too big.
And when you think of the earlier, Preston, when you'd pull out the lever for the headlights, where you would walk away in the headlights, all those things that used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got a crapper car for my first car. It had
the button on the floor.
The tech was way old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or a bench seat where everybody had to scoot forward or backwards.
And they never used the seat belts.
Hang on, I want to go to these calls. A feature that you've had on your car. You've had this car for years, and it took forever before you found out, it can do this. So let me go to Patrick. Hey, Patrick, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, buddy. What's up?
So my mom drives a Nissan. She had it for years. And one day she's coming to pick up my son, and so I'm helping bring the stuff out to the car. And I walked to our car, and I hit the button on the door handle. And she's like, what did that do? I was like, it unlocked your car. And
Yeah.
so, because it's one of the ones that has like keyless entry and like the push button start, so you never have to take your keys out of your pocket.
Right.
Every time she would go, she'd be hitting the unlock button to unlock her car and then get in the car. I'm like, no, there's a button for that. You just have to hit the button one time and it unlocks your car.
And those have been around for a while now.
Patrick, describe the look on her face when she realized that.
Pure shock. She's like, no way.
Unbelievable.
I know there's something in my car right now that, like, I would have no idea the function of it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know how to lock your glove box?
No.
Okay, go get your car keys right now. Go get your car keys. I don't even know what kind of car you drive. Just go get your car keys.
It's on the fob?
Go get your freaking car keys.
Do you have them handy?
Yeah.
They're
in the office. It'll
Go
take
ahead.
you
I'll
15
take another
seconds.
call.
Let Connor rifle through your pocketbook.
Hang on. I'm going to go to Katie. Hey, Katie, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Katie. What's up?
So I got, after leaving my Land Cruiser to my teenage daughter who just got her license, I got an upgrade in a Lexus, and I was constantly pulling up to the pumps on the wrong side because tanks are on different sides of the car. And if you look at the gas gauge on your dash, you'll see underneath the gas tank icon, there's a little arrow that points to which side of the car.
We talked about this, and that's very helpful, especially when you have like a rental car.
But they can be deceiving because there are two arrows sometimes.
There are.
And one time the arrow points to where the tank is on your car, if it's on the left side or the right side. The other time the arrow is pointing to the fuel gauge and how much fuel you have left. So the arrow itself, you have to know which arrow you're looking at because the arrow itself can actually be deceiving.
You might put the gas in your fuel gauge.
I haven't seen that.
No, so what happens is like the one that's the constant on your dash, that's what you pay attention to.
Correct.
The one that lights up to tell you that you're low on gas, don't pay attention to that one.
That I knew that.
Yeah.
I did.
Right.
Thank you.
So, Kathy, what most key fobs have are, it's called a valet key.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I know.
To say.
Do you ever use that?
So this, comes out. Did you know that?
No. Oh, yes, I knew that the valet key, but that's what locks my glove box?
Yeah, so this,
Oh, cool.
you lock your glove box, you keep your fob, and then you hand them this. And this can only...
But then they can open
I'm
the
sorry.
glove box.
You hand the fob to
You
them.
hand them this.
Yeah.
Right.
Without the key in it.
And you take the key with you. And then...
Okay.
So if you want to... If you don't trust whoever the
if I don't want
valet
them
is...
to get to my tampons that I leave in the car, I take that valet key
The guy
with me.
pulls up with the tampons in his nose. Dun, 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 dun.
Did I ever tell you the story? I had to turn my car in, one of the cars, and there was this very good-looking worker at the dealership. And when I was turning the car in, I had to clear everything out. I opened the glove box, and all these tampons fell out and like onto the floor right at his feet. And I was
Man.
like, oh gosh.
I bleed a lot. I have very heavy flows.
You know,
I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Marissa brought up a good point. A lot of your personal information is in your glove box. Your home address, your insurance
registration,
information, all that. So important information is in there. So you lock that up so people can't get to it.
I'm going to go to Brian next. Hey, Brian, good morning.
Get one with cheese on it, God damn it.
That's my dad. I love it. What's up, Brian?
So I got two things. I switch cars a lot, and I had a Ford Raptor for a while. And every time I would get in, it would jam me up against the steering wheel. Like I would start the car, and the seat would move and jam me up against the steering wheel. And I was like, this is a very inconvenient feature. So I was on my way to putting in my garage. And I went to put the window down, and I accidentally hit a button that I never pressed before, and it said seat preferences changed. Like, what the hell does that mean? So I went to start the car up again, and I was like, oh!
That's the button we're talking about. And I believe, by the way, how did you like that Raptor, Brian? It's a cool vehicle, isn't it?
It was pretty badass.
Yeah,
I've been driving Mustangs all my life, so I went to upgrade to that, but it was quick and stuff. But also my dad bought a Chevy Equinox about, I don't know, a month and a half ago, and he's got auto start in his car, but he can't figure out how to use it. So the other day, he comes up to me and he's like, yeah, the auto start doesn't work on the car. And I was like, give me that thing. You are so dumb. So I'm fiddling around with it for 10 minutes. I hand him the keys back. I go, yeah, I don't know how to work it either.
Yeah.
So he's still not using his auto start.
Tell him to look for a YouTube video.
Yeah,
You'll be able to figure it out. Thanks,
exactly,
Brian.
yeah.
My car, I have auto start on it, but it's not accessed through my fob. It's an app on my phone.
Yeah.
And you can do all kinds of stuff, lock and unlock and a variety of things. But the auto start feature is exclusively on the app.
Some companies now are rethinking allowing that remote start because of the hackability of it and what they're finding out. Like for example, if you get an after factory remote start, they will take a fob. They'll take one of your you get a couple of keys when you purchase the car, and they will hide that in the vehicle so that you have that remote startability. It also allows people, though, an easier pathway to hack and get into your car and start it up.
Yeah, if you were to once I can auto start my car, but once I open the door, even if I have the fob, it shuts off.
Okay,
and then
cool.
you got to restart it again. But I did have one added on. That was not part of the manufacturer, and if you do that, you have to. Some warranties are voided.
Voided, yes.
So you have to keep that in mind. So I'm going to go next to Leah. Hi, Leah. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, Leah. So we were talking about you had a vehicle for a long time, and then you realized something about it down the road. You had no idea it could do this. What was your story?
Yes, I had a Jeep Liberty that I loved for 8 years, and the day that I turned it in for a new car, I found out that I had a 5-disc CD player in my car.
You had no idea. That's.
That I thought was a single one.
You thought it was a single CD player, and you could have been putting 5 CDs in there.
Yeah, instead, you had like the glove box of all your CDs that you had to shuffle.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, you know what's funny is that even on new cars, and now they just upgrade through Wi-Fi. But about 6 or 7 years ago, they would update your nav system, and a lot of times
Send
it'd
you
be
a
a
disc.
disc, right?
Yeah.
So, but that disc player was also your CD player.
Yeah.
And I said that to my wife. Really? Yes. That it's also a regular CD player.
So a lot of these high-end luxury cars are very I say over-engineered. So BMW drivers,
way too over-engineered.
Driving on the highway right now, there's this thing. It's on the left side of your steering wheel. It's it indicates to the other drivers if you're going to switch a lane or if you're going to make a left-hand turn. It's this little thing.
Right.
Yeah. If you're going to go right, you hit the lever.
I know
up.
many people who don't even realize that exists at all.
It's called a turn
They
signal.
simply don't use it ever. It's the most freaking annoying thing. But besides that, Preston, we'll say the story again. You and I sitting in a late model BMW. We could not figure out how to shut that goddamn thing off.
I was going to say a lot of people don't know how to put them into park. And they're the what's it called where it pops up on the
HUD, the heads-up display.
The heads-up display. Like I was like, I'm going to crash because I'm just looking at this. Like I can't buy this car.
It's in your field of vision.
Yeah.
You know what actually can be a little bit confusing if you get a new car is how to open the hood. Because
sure. This is in a different place on
You're
most
like,
cars.
Oh man, where's the stupid?
Yeah.
And when you find it, because a lot of times it's just flush cosmetically. I'll tell you one that throws off a lot of people. The door for your gas cap.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like there are
some of them you push in and
right.
they open up. Yeah.
Also, if your keys are, I believe,
locked.
Right.
It locks the gas
locks
thing.
it as
You're
well.
like, but this thing won't open up. It's
What's
broken.
going on?
It's a brand new car.
I can't put gas in my car.
Well, mine, if I go to a place where they pump for me, my car has to be turned off. That's how it unlocks the gas.
Oh.
So they're always like knocking on the window. I'm like, all right, just give me a second. I need to turn the car off.
Why won't you let us gas your car off?
So this is a little bit bigger than some of the things we're talking about. But thank God my dad was with me. You guys remember a couple of years ago, actually on the way home from Cardboard Classic, I got a flat on the side of the Northeast Extension.
Right.
There was no tire in the car. And my dad's like, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't understand either.
Yeah.
And so it's this like weird thing that you have to, this contraption you take out, and I don't know if we were putting air in or what the hell we were doing, but we had to use that instead of changing the actual tire. And it was,
you didn't have run flats, did
I don't
you?
know if it's considered a run flat or what it is, but we had to do something to the tire in order to drive away with it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sometimes there's like a a filler that you can pump into it.
Some in cans
temporarily.
Too.
Yeah.
Something like that, I think it was. And
yeah, like Fix a Flat or something.
I mean, thank God he was with me. God sent him to Cardboard Classic with me that day.
Well, here you go. Here's a call. This is similar to that. I'm going to go to Dan. Hey, Dan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Good. What's up, Dan?
So I had a pickup truck. I have a pickup truck. I'm coming home from Ocean City, Maryland on Route 1. I got a blowout, and I had to put together a crank to lower the tire.
It was underneath the vehicle, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I've had to do that. I've had to do that before. Yep. And if you don't know that, you're like, first of all, where the hell's the tire?
Right.
And then you got to figure out how to crank that thing down. It's held by like a metal wire.
Correct. And you're trying to, put this rod in this hole that you can't see.
Yeah.
And you're cranking it down. And I mean, it took me forever, but it's a learning experience.
It's a horrible system. That's one of the things that they have out now, and it's. I think I was showing you a video of it, Preston. It's basically it just lifts the car. It's sort of like a large spongy thing, and it just uses power from the car to
inflates.
Inflates it up. It won't fall off that because when you're changing a tire at the side of it, like a highway.
I did it on
a
slight hill.
Yeah,
and that was a huge mistake. And then I had to move it. This was just over Thanksgiving, and I hadn't changed the tire in a long time. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. Yeah.
Speaking of which, my friend's father-in-law had a Mercedes, and he had a flat tire, and we were helping him change the tire. And he, listen, this guy is a very successful, business person, so you don't tell him that he's doing something wrong.
Oh, no.
But he was doing something wrong. And the jack for this Mercedes is like a jack I've never seen before.
Right.
Normally, you just, you stick it under, there's like under the frame, and you crank it up, and that's what he was attempting to do. He scratched up his door so bad trying to do this, but what he didn't realize is it was a special jack it's for Mercedes, that car essentially only. And I don't even know how to explain it, but there's just this little thing that pops off, and I think they have one in the front and one in the back for if it's a front tire or back tire, and this it's essentially a post goes into this, but he didn't know, and he kept trying to jack it up from the bottom, from the frame, and we're just standing there. We're like, you don't want to say anything, and meanwhile,
you got to move that over.
Well, sometimes the car companies think that they're making advances, and they actually complicate the issue a little bit more.
You don't have to.
When we were growing up, obviously rear view cameras didn't exist in the car, and so I'm not used to looking at that every time I back up. But many people have learned to adapt that whenever they put the car in reverse. But my son, who's 16, in case of your daughter, they're both learning to drive. They will never know cars without rear view cameras.
It gives you a better field of vision.
During the road test now, I assume they still mandate that you have to look back, right?
I don't know, because most cars come with the cameras nowadays.
And the field of vision on the cameras is far better than...
It's terrific, but I'm just not used to it.
Right.
And maybe I'm an old dog or whatever, but I don't use that camera most of the time. I turn my head around. Yeah, I look in mirrors and I turn my head around instead of looking at the camera.
I give a brief look and then go to the cameras. You remember, Preston, the old jack system, which had sort of a hook in it that there was under the bumpers on the four. Yeah. And it said you'd hook the thing and talk about trying to get something in the dark to hook up right, and then you jack that up straight on a vertical pole with notches in it.
Mm-hmm. It was dangerous.
Yes.
I'm going to go to Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Good morning.
Hey, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. All right, what did you have you didn't know you had for a long time on your car?
So it sounds probably pretty stupid, but my wife and I bought a Subaru, and when they were explaining the car to us, all the features, they told us that it's completely keyless entry, and you just walk up to the passenger side door with the keys somewhere in your person, and it'll unlock all the doors. So I thought that was the only way to unlock the car. And I was like, this is stupid. Why would they not put a button on the key fob? I need to unlock it from far away.
Yeah. No. So what happened?
I had the keys in my pocket one day walking out to the car, and I heard the car go beep, beep, somewhere 5 feet away, and I realized I hit the emblem in the middle of the key fob.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, no.
6 months, though.
No, but it'll throw you off, and sometimes it doesn't engage. You know what I find, Preston? if I have my fob in the same pocket with my phone, the phone shields the signal from transmitting. So when I walk up to the car, it won't open up. It's blocking that signal.
Let's see. Let me go to Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Ed.
Good morning,
Hi,
buddy.
Mike.
What's up, bud?
I am in a 2023 Tundra with 150 miles on it heading to Cape Hatteras, and I'm laughing my ass off because I've lost my navigation. I have no clue.
Oh, my God.
The bells and whistles on this truck.
Did anybody walk you through it, Mike?
Yeah, the sales guy. And, you know, I bought it Friday. I drove it. I live in Cherry Hill. Drove it around a little bit. Anticipated this trip to Hatteras. I got to go down and do a little bit of work. But there is just so much on this thing. I lost my Apple Play, so I don't have my navigation. I'm like, I'm just like ready to pull over and scream. I'm like losing it.
Well, when in doubt, Mike, shut everything off. Have you tried that? And then started everything back up again.
I'm waiting to get to Cape Hatteras, and then
Then you'll figure
All right, then you'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah. Work your way towards the ocean. You want to go south and then east, and eventually you'll get to that Cape Hatteras.
well, it's reading my map, my Google Maps, but every 5 minutes it wants to change over to its navigation, so I got to keep pushing the button.
I hate that.
Godspeed, Mike.
Yeah.
Hang in there, buddy.
I just got a text from my wife. She's been driving her car for 7 years now.
What did she find out?
No, she still doesn't know how to open the back tailgate because the SUV.
Yeah.
From inside the car, she still even if she's in the car,
Like to open the trunk?
yeah, she still hits the key fob.
There's a button somewhere.
Yeah, it's usually it can be in the door. Usually,
It's not. It's because I was driving it yesterday. I had to pick my kid up from rugby. It's
on the rearview mirror.
It's just above the rearview mirror. It's right there.
Yeah,
Again.
cars nowadays, like I have buttons on my rear view mirror. They're sometimes they're on the flap for the sun visor.
Yeah.
They're all over the freaking place.
So
you need to some of them are hidden.
They are.
Yeah.
And so again, when you're traveling along, I stay away from my own car's interior lights because I have and I'm good with this stuff. Yeah. I always end up hitting the wrong button. The cluster is so tightly bunched that I'm like, F it.
Good thing about those now is a lot of them are LED lights, and if you accidentally leave them on, like back in the day, it used to drain your battery.
Completely
if you left
out.
your dome light on the night before, you'd wake up the next day, go in your car, and it'd be and you wouldn't be able to start it. But thank you. It almost sounded like Mitch McConnell. Yeah.
Can't get a damn car to work.
So they're LEDs, and sometimes they have features that'll shut them off automatically if you do that.
Well, speaking of batteries, Preston, did you see this text about an electric car? Because I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it says, hey, I bought an electric car. No one told me using the heat drains the battery.
Yes.
Don't plan on being warm in an electric car in the winter. Same with the air conditioning. Drains the battery. Extremely uncomfortable in my extremely expensive electric vehicle.
I had no idea.
No.
So what'll happen? So, when Nick, but if you stop and think about it too, and it happens at a level when you're driving your car, you're running a regular fuel car, gas car. I have a readout that'll show the engine is running in a certain way, and that will tax the engine as well.
For sure.
Interesting, yeah, because a combustion engine is the actual heat of the combustion that you get your heater heat from.
Right. So now you're heating,
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow, okay. Let me see here. Who's been on hold for a long time? It was Melanie. Let me go to her. Hi there, Melanie. Thanks for hanging on.
It's okay, no problem. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I had bought a car in 2012, but it was a 2005, so it was like new to me, and it was the first car I had that had electronic features like power windows and locks. So one morning I had my husband start the car with a key fob, and lo and behold, after 3 years later, it ended up being a remote start that I didn't even know we had.
Oh, man. You could have been using that in the wintertime. God damn. Oh.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Melanie. I'm happy you eventually found out about it, but
My remote start is like finicky or I don't really know how to use it. It doesn't work all the time for me.
Okay. All right. Well, tinker around with this stuff, man. I mean, you know, that's the thing. And like Steve was saying, there are videos that exist with your model car that'll explain it all. For the most part, if it's an older car, then most likely it won't. But anything within the past 10 years or so, there's going to be information on how to use everything on YouTube. And it's worth going to because there might be some feature that you paid for that you have no idea that you have the ability to use. And it might be something that's crazy convenient. So it's worth a deep dive. But thank you for the calls. We do appreciate it. We have to take a break because we're going to go on Fox Good Day. So we want to do that. And we'll get to the bizarre file on top of that when we return. Stay with us this morning.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR. It's another MMR
Absolute fullest. And then a fight broke out between commenters who praised her for prioritizing her kids over at work and others who said as working moms, they were dedicated to family too. And so Kourtney clapped back again.
So she clapped back at the mothers?
She says, who says I'm not a working mom? Because I most definitely am. Working moms can be dedicated, of course. As women, we should be supporting each other for what allows us to be our best, not being so critical and judgmental of each other. We all do things our own way.
Did they counterattack with the clap salvo?
I don't think so. There was not. Underlying her point, she wrote, a travel diary coming soon.
Can't wait.
On Poosh. And I guess there must be an Instagram account because it says @Poosh. Poosh. Yeah, @Splooge. Splooge. We need to start our own lifestyle brand called Splooge. All right. So anyhow,
that's her fight song.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Live it,
To be honest, though, following her on Instagram, I don't follow her on Instagram, but I follow her through all the pages of TMZ and all that stuff as I put together stuff for the Hollywood Trash. And to be honest, I've never seen her do anything but vacation.
I know.
Yeah, never.
That's what her job is.
That is her job.
Yep. Well, she's working hard then.
Well, just consult Poosh if you want to find out what she's up to.
Let's talk about the happiest place on earth.
It's magical.
Disney. This is Disneyland, by the way, in Anaheim. And there's a viral video, yes, that is making the rounds of a couple of families beating the ever-loving piss out of each other for about 4 minutes before they finally go their separate ways.
That's a long fight.
It is a long fight.
Is someone in a wheelchair?
It's in Toontown, by the way. There was somebody on a mobility scooter.
Okay, all right.
Kathy, but the fight happens. They start to split up. Then it sparks back up again. Then they kind of split up. Then it keeps going on and on.
I mean, and it's like the Andy Kaufman used to do the intergender wrestling.
Yeah.
They're brawling. Doesn't matter. The dude's beating on the woman.
Oh my God! Wait, so that's okay. I'm just seeing this for the first time. The guy
fists are flying.
punches the woman.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a couple of women beating up. It's just a mess.
Where's security?
Not that it's an excuse, but it kicks off. They're having words, and the woman just spits right in this guy's face, and then he slugs her. But I can't figure out who's on whose side.
No, neither can I.
It's like I'm like, oh, he's hitting her now. I thought she was with him, and it's just who the hell knows what's going on.
And then the woman in the mobility scooter gets up as if she
can walk.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. This stupid fight between these imbeciles has caused a miracle.
You know what? And there's a moment in this video where the whoever is filming this video, by the way, is laughing the whole time. She's not with them because obviously she would be getting in the middle of this.
And she's up close.
But there's an older woman who gets knocked down to the ground on her back, and you hear the woman filming just laughing her ass off. And I'm like, and you can hear children crying in the background.
Oh my God.
There's a little kid walking around, and it's obviously this is there. I will freely admit, I chuckled a few times, but the really tragic part of this here is this little kid is watching these adults do this and walking around with his hands up like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Even a kid can't figure it out.
And he taps, I guess, who is his mother. Like, hello, I'm here. Obviously he needs attention. He's upset too.
And all the while in the background, you have the delightfully colored Toontown.
Oh my God.
Happy place.
Listen, I understand that things can go awry anywhere, and somebody can have a bad day, and something can trigger. But if you can have the presence of mind to be aware of where you are, you know, right then and there, you're in Disneyland,
the happiest place on earth.
Come on, look around you, see where you are. Shut up. But some people are just, some people are just a-holes.
It just kills me in this one because there was another one, Preston. I forget it was at like a kids park. It was like an amusement park. It very well may have been Disney World. And this one's great because the woman in the mobility scooter in that one, Kathy, she doesn't get up, but she starts using her mobility scooter to join the fight. She's backing up and ramming the brawling people.
So apparently, this one, they're all in the same family. They're all related.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So this is an ongoing investigation. No arrests have been made, but there was infighting that had begun outside of the park, and the fight just continued inside the park.
No arrests?
No arrests. They all knew each other.
Ridiculous.
Well, not yet anyway, Case. They said the investigation's ongoing. But
after they viewed the video, now they're looking at potentially.
Because then that guy goes on.
I saw it all. It was a mess.
But then the guy goes on to slap another woman and take her to the ground.
Kathy, he doesn't just slap her. I mean, and this is horrifying, but he gives her a haymaker.
Just some unwritten rules, right? Like
protocol.
Yeah, protocol. and
You
all
don't
that sort of
fire on someone else's bitch.
No, you don't.
Not in Toontown.
Not in Toontown, man. You take that to Epcot.
I think, Casey, of your story at the 4th of July parade all the time.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And the bending down and addressing them as a father to kids who needed to be addressed by their father. But like you get in that mentality sometimes, and this is a place where that can happen.
You can have an Independence Day from life.
Oh, I totally understand.
I'm gonna make you independent of your life.
But on the outside, everybody else.
Hey,
is like,
what a good dad.
Oh, you were. Oh, you poor thing. You're so upset. You better stop crying right now.
Don't cry. Don't even let him know you're in pain.
A former Cape Breton University student says that she regrets not making a formal complaint 3 years ago against a professor who was fired this summer for demanding moose meat, lobster, and sex from a student in exchange for better grades.
In that order?
Moose meat, lobster, and sex.
All right, you don't have moose meat. You don't have lobster.
You got any lobster?
Thanks. All right, look, how about sex?
She said,
Wait, I found some moose meat. Yeah!
She said, I wish I did something back then. I wish I got him fired, Jess Hardy said. Then the situation wouldn't have happened. She was a first-year student and said that Shamal Fernaduple made inappropriate comments and suggestions.
You're going to ruin the day, Fernaduple.
And her appearance, and implied that he wanted a sexual relationship with her, and he would say inappropriate things all the time. Now, unfortunately, as the story goes on, it never gets into the details about the moose meat and lobster.
Well, it's a bizarre
That's what I'm
pecking
most
order.
interested in.
Right, yes. You don't understand.
But they ended up firing this guy because he apparently did.
Was it the moose meat?
To a couple of students. It was the moose meat.
He's here in front of the dean. It was the moose meat, wasn't it? Well, actually, the number 3 on the list here, the sex.
So apparently he wasn't only demanding sex, but moose meat and lobster.
I should have stopped at lobster.
And they fired him. So there you go. That's all I have in the
It's
details.
like he's looking for something to round out the list.
Yeah.
And sex.
Yeah. So I was surprised the other day when my daughter came to me and described a very specific detail of what I'm assuming. I don't know if it's a social class or if it's just a fashion or what. But I was like, okay, this is all new to me, and I've forgotten what the full description is. So if anybody wants to call in, if you're familiar with this term, but VSCO girls.
VSCO girls.
Yeah. And that's spelled VSCO.
Yeah.
VSCO, you've heard of this, Nick?
I have. I hadn't heard of it until Friday. And so I learned about it just as recently as you did, Preston. VSCO,
From Ben?
No, from BuzzFeed, of all places.
Okay.
I read an article about it. I saw VSCO online somewhere, right, as about a post. I didn't know what those letters meant, VSCO.
Yeah, I still don't know.
It's an app, and it stands for Visual Supply Company, right? And, the reason that I know that it's an app is that my girlfriend does some photography on the side, and she's used this app to process photos. What girls now are doing, Preston, is they're taking this app and they are applying it to their social media posts, and now it's also become its own social media thing.
Nick, look at this top text. Do you know what that means? Okay, so it just says SK. Apparently, they go around going.
Wait, okay.
Okay.
So
So the
There's
crickets.
a VSCO.
So what is it?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Our phone lines are lighting up, so we'll find out in a minute.
It's
right. That's what it is.
As far as social status goes, it's a new thing for this school year. It's brand new. But
How is it social status though?
because it's a look. So basically,
it's a look.
If you are a VSCO girl, you are you kind of look like you came from the beach. You wear the scrunchies around your wrist.
93.3 WMMR.
All right, 7:55, and in about 20 seconds, we're going to go live on Fox Good Day this morning and check in with Mike. And it's Karen who's in. Alex is off today, so we'll see what those guys have going on. We do have the B-File coming up in just a little bit, and we're going to hold off on traffic for a moment, so we will get that information for you shortly. And hang out because we do have a chance for you to win some. Oh, hang on a
Mike
second.
and Karen here waiting on you. Good to see you guys.
Good morning.
Here's the setup. I think we've all been there. You have plans to go out in the evening with a friend or, some people, coworkers, whatever. How late can you cancel? We got this article from New York Magazine, and they talked to some etiquette experts. What time do you think would be okay to cancel? How many hours ahead of? Let's say it's a 7 o'clock gathering. Preston?
Is this a canceling without a good excuse, like without an emergency or something like that?
Yes.
You just okay.
You just want to stay home and watch the Sixers.
I never try to ever cancel day of. I think that's rude unless you have a real good reason, something, you're sick or something like that came up. So, but if I were to cancel on the same day, no way it would be later than noon. I don't think.
Noon?
Yeah.
Wow, you're good.
Yeah,
Good
no
man.
way.
Yeah.
You're so great. Because the question was also posited as without ruining their plan. So they still have time to reschedule and do something else if they're going to do it for dinner. All right. So Steve, how about you?
So if it's multiple people and you're one of a collective, I think you can 4 hours ahead of time, that far back. If it's you and just the other people, I think you got to go back and give them a lot of time, especially if there's a dinner or something and they're making dinner for you and there's cooking involved. But the best scenario is if you want to cancel and they cancel before you do.
Oh my God!
Because then you connect.
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me?
We had this night planned.
All right, if that's what you have to do.
Special outfit.
Don't worry about it. Not a problem. That way,
And then you get one. You get a pass.
Yeah, you
It's
get
awesome.
credit.
Yeah. Well, remember you canceled last time.
Well, these experts that they interviewed for New York Magazine said, if you have a plan for 7 o'clock in the evening, you should cancel no later than 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
That seems about right.
Window.
Yeah, but I think if it's a big preparation, though, I think you can, like you, Preston, it might be nicer to go earlier. Or just admit that you don't like them at the start. That'd probably be pretty good.
Cuts to the chase.
Right,
Yeah.
Say that.
Right.
Well, sometimes things seem like a good idea. Like your friends ask you, you're like, oh, sure. And then it's like you're tired. It's a Friday.
Oh, that's the story of
end
my
the week.
life. I agree to something a couple weeks out, and then the day rolls around, and you're like,
Why
we're
did
doing that tonight?
What?
Oh,
Is that tonight?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I agreed a week ago to be the host of the regatta over on the Cooper River, right?
Yes.
Because I've known this woman 20 years.
A
Well,
woman.
Sure.
Surprise, surprise. A woman.
I'll host this regatta for you. I found out the details yesterday. It covers 2 full days. 7 in the morning to 7 at night. And the next Sunday morning, 7 to 2 in the afternoon. How do I get out of that?
May I suggest this? I think it would be insane to assume that you've been asked to host something and we're talking a 48-hour commitment. They should have specified that at the beginning. I think you're within your rights to say, I thought this was a couple of hours. I didn't realize I was, signing away my life.
I'd fake a cancer diagnosis or something like that, Mike. Something that's pretty.
Right.
I feel
Stomach
something.
flu.
I'm not long for this world.
24-hour bug.
Yeah.
But I'm having
Preston,
an
Steve.
affair with this woman.
I have a question for you because last week we had a guest who overslept and messed up and missed his appearance on our show. Last night we had a guest cancel on us because they already sold out their shows. Which one pisses you guys off more?
Already sold out.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for your listeners if they can't get a ticket.
Yeah,
They
but
should still come.
They can still show up and do the show. I mean, that to me is like, because there will come a time when they're not sold out, and we like to provide high entertainment value to our listeners, and so that's.
So who was it?
Who was it? We're not going to name names.
It was Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Well, we were promoting yesterday who was going to be on, and
I
now they're
know.
not going to be on.
And now there's just throngs of people in front with Kevin Nealon posters. So
I can look this up. We'll have to look what celebrity is in town tonight at a performance.
no, he's great. It's just this time it seemed we want to talk to him. We're excited. So there you go.
I narrowed down to a he.
He's Kevin Nealon. So
Yeah, it's Kevin Nealon.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, we'll see you later, guys. All right, take care. All right, we skipped traffic, so let's go ahead and get to that now, Kath. What's going on this morning?
Still not the best on the roadways. You're stopped on the Schuylkill westbound from Passyunk to the Vine Expressway. There was an incident on the Vine. Looks like that's now gone, but you are jammed eastbound the Schuylkill to the Ben Franklin Bridge, westbound the length as well. Further on the Schuylkill westbound, you're slow at City Avenue, eastbound side from the Boulevard into the Vine. 95 southbound is slowing from the Pennsylvania Turnpike to 413. That's an accident that's off to the right shoulder, and then Academy to Bridge. The Boulevard southbound heavy from 9th to Fox. And then on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, we have delays westbound Route 1 to Street Road, 2nd Street Pike, where there's an accident in the left lane. 30 bypass westbound at 322. The on-ramp partially blocked with the disabled vehicle. In Delaware, Polebridge Road at DuPont Highway. We've got an accident. Traffic being diverted around the area. In New Jersey, 55 northbound, heavy Deptford to 42. 42 north, so it's Coles Road to 295. And then in Hamilton Township, 29 northbound, jams from 295 to 129. The accident cleared. This traffic report brought to you by The Tile Shop. It's your destination for ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tile and luxury vinyl tile. Explore a wide range of unique looks and exclusive designs. Visit your local Tile Shop showroom to start loving the home you're in. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Before we do the bizarre file, I was handed a note from Casey. It says, I have a picture I want to show you guys.
All right, Connor.
So he's going to show this on our monitor here. I don't know what this is.
I know
I will
it.
do my best to describe what's going on. Go ahead, Connor, if you would please show the picture. There's a picture of us and...
Oh, no!
That's not Tim Daly.
That's
Photoshop.
That's Photoshop.
That's Photoshop.
That is a Photoshop picture.
You son of a bitch.
Of Tim Daly in our studio. It's his birthday today, earlier this morning.
Good effort.
Casey was swearing up and down that he was been here.
A for effort. But who is that?
He's not here.
That's Tim Daly.
That's Zack Snyder, isn't it?
Is it Zack Snyder?
No, Zack Snyder hasn't been in the studio.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
That's really funny. That looks good.
Okay, so for some reason I think Tim Daly as well.
I looked on my calendar, on a collective show calendar, and there's no appearance of any Tim Daly at any point.
I'm just wondering who it was, who in my mind's eye I am imagining. Because I could have sworn Tim Daly was sitting right there.
Was it Tyne Daly?
No.
Could have been. Yeah. Cagney and Lacey?
No.
All right.
Was it John Daly?
It was not John Daly.
No, John Daly's never been here. I can guarantee you that. All right, well,
Carson Daly?
Maybe it was Carson Daly. Is Carson Daly in?
No, we've interviewed
We've
him.
had him on the phone. We've had Tim Daly on the phone.
The phone.
We have a cool interview tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
who is it? I'm like,
You booked it.
I know. What day is it? Dude, listen.
A lot going on.
I know.
I got a lot going on in my life.
I understand.
I can't remember anything.
We do know that the Cardboard Classic is on Friday. That we are certain.
And Jimmy Fallon will be joining us for that.
Live on the air.
Yeah, with Tim Daly
Friday.
and Tyne Daly.
All right. Let's do the bizarre file. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Dilling HVAC. Trust Dilling for service that is second to none. A free heater tune-up or 10% off water heaters. And you can ask about their 0% financing offer. Schedule at dillinghvac.com. A higher degree of trust and dependability. So this happens from time to time, but a Saginaw man found himself in jail after calling 911 to report that he paid a prostitute for a service that she was unwilling to provide.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
34-year-old man placed the call at 7:52 a.m.
This will be reflected in my Yelp review.
On a Saturday, by the way. So this is a Saturday morning prostitution call requesting police to his residence. The man said that he paid the woman $10 for a sex act.
What?
And then she reneged on the deal.
Skanky whore.
The man told police that he wanted his money back. The 24-year-old woman was still present when they arrived. Or the officers arrived.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
There was no physical altercation between the man and the woman. Officers arrested the man on a misdemeanor charge of accosting and solicitation, and the woman on a charge of prostitution. Both, by the way, were free on bond on prior home invasion felonies at the time.
Stare at it, eat it.
A woman who died during her wedding rituals was replaced with her sister and ended up marrying the groom instead.
What? Hey, you look like her.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
News 18, which is an Indian media television channel, reported on Saturday that the woman died in front of the temple in Bhavnagar, India. The bride's name was Hital and was the daughter of a man identified as Janabai Rathore, and she was in the process of marrying Vishal. Hital reportedly said that she felt dizzy before fainting, and she died right there. The doctor said she had died of a heart attack after she was rushed to a hospital nearby. Even as the family mourned her death, the death of Hital, relatives proposed an alternative plan to ensure that the wedding celebrations continued.
Hey, listen, you got another daughter. What do you say?
The family then decided to marry Hital's younger sister.
They were
instead.
clearly distraught and mourning because they came up with this solution.
By the way, Hital's body was reportedly kept in cold storage until the ceremony was over.
He still wants a crack at it.
And they described the incident as very sad. Even though the family was shocked by the death of their daughter, members of the society convinced them to set an example and not send the bridegroom and his family home empty-handed.
Preston, they said it was the most somber electric slide you've ever seen.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Just a little bit on the
I mean,
downside.
that's why I asked where it was, because that's like an arranged marriage type
Yes.
thing. Like, okay, this one can't do it. Here, we have another one.
Yeah, it was in India. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's chicken dance.
Dun, 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 dun.
A man has been charged in Massachusetts in connection to a cold case murder thanks to DNA, a GPS tracker, and a sweet potato.
Not a yam.
No, a sweet potato.
Yeah, that's him.
You're a talking sweet potato.
Devarius Hampton was charged on Monday. The charges come 12 years to the day after Todd Lampley was found shot to death in 2011. Now, the lead that resulted in his arrest was a phone tied to the name Marlo Stanfield, a fictional character on the HBO series The Wire. And in the show, a potato was used as a silencer. Investigators found a sweet potato at the real scene of Lampley's murder. According to officials, the sweet potato had Hampton's DNA on it.
How do you screw that onto the muzzle?
Prosecutors, I think you just shoot
Jam
it
through.
on there.
Yeah.
So prosecutors say that they can place Hampton at the home of the time of the murder because of data from a GPS monitor that he was wearing due to a previous crime. They also say GPS tracking puts him at a pond where a gun was later recovered. He's being held without bail. I've never heard of anything like that.
That's
happening,
crazy.
Ever. An Ocala, Florida man. Now, I normally do not report on stories that involve like child pornography and things like this, but listen to this story. An Ocala, Florida man was arrested on Thursday after thousands of pounds of child pornography material was found in his home. They said literally over a ton of kiddie porn was found at this guy's house.
Oh, my God.
Paul Zettel, 72 years old, was taken into custody for 25 counts of possession of child pornography. The
Sounds like a Family Guy character case.
The sheriff's office reported they received a tip in January that files of child sexual abuse material had been posted to the internet. After an investigation, it was discovered that the IP address belonged to Zettel. A search warrant was granted at his residence, and upon searching his home, other occupants stated that he would not allow others to go into his bedroom or office without being personally escorted. And detectives found countless of these types of photos. And
That's
they said
horrific.
It weighed over a ton. That's how much it was. Wow. It is a bit of a struggle that many couples in long-distance relationships face, but months without a kiss could finally be a thing of the past thanks to a bizarre new invention. It was created by an engineer in China, and it's the Miracle device has a moving silicone mouthpiece.
It's creepy
that
looking.
lets you kiss your partner remotely. Sensors mimic the pressure, movement, and heat of your partner's lips, while even transmitting smooching sounds to make it as realistic as possible.
No, man.
You got to
Really?
see a
It's
picture of this thing.
I don't know if I want
Yeah,
to.
it's like making out with a fleshlight.
It's kind of like that. And people can also use the device when the recipient is nearby, but physical contact is not an option for it. For example, if someone has a mouth infection or a disease such as COVID, you can use this instead.
Or are there herpes appliques you can put on it for realism?
The long-distance lovers miracle kissing device was invented and patented by Chengzhou Vocational Institute of Mechatronic Technology in Eastern China. Because it's connected to the internet, it works however far away the two people are. Users insert their smartphones into the top of the device, and then they start recording their smooch by kissing the device's lips.
Okay.
And when they're finished, they can upload and save their kiss to an accompanying app before it is sent to the recipient, a bit like sending a WhatsApp message.
There are long distance sex devices that are like the auto suck and stuff like that, right? Where I know we talked about that. You talked about it in the Bizarre File.
Yeah, they've made these things before.
Yeah, I've never seen one as innocent and still as creepy as the kiss.
The fake lips on the recipient's device recreates the movements of their partner's kiss while transmitting noises if they made any. You can get one for $38, and customer feedback so far has been varied about this particular product.
I'm gonna order. I'll see if they're available in the States. I'll order two.
That's what I'm not sure of, but if you can,
all right,
yes.
and we'll give it a shot in the studio here.
All right,
with our flashlights.
I've just been handed a note. It says, "I have a picture I want to show you guys."
Okay.
From Casey. It's the same one he dragged out of the trash, which I threw away. All right, so he's going to show us another photo here on our monitor.
Right.
And let's see what we have now. Go ahead, Connor. And Casey's already laughing, so I can't wait to
I
see
am
this.
too, and I don't know what it is.
It's going to be amazing.
Okay, this is...
There we go.
That's legit. June 29th, 2009, Tim Daly in our studio.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, June 29th, 2010?
All right. 2009.
How do you know that's from our studio?
Well, you can see that's actually the production studio.
By the way, it's a picture with Chuck
Yeah.
standing next to...
How did we not get a picture?
Chuck's lost some weight over the years, too.
Yeah.
He looks much better nowadays.
He stopped eating tubs of chocolate frosting.
Yeah, that's right.
And football helmets full of
M&Ms.
So there we go.
Wow.
We were right. So can we nail down that day? There has to exist a picture of us then?
There has to.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't in on our show. Seriously.
He was on the
might-
Chuck show?
He might have been down the hall at another radio station. I
Yeah,
don't
Chuck's
know.
worked for Ben for years.
I know.
Yeah.
No,
I don't care.
I care about this more than anything right now.
I can't believe it is his day of birth, Preston.
Happy birthday, Tim Daly. I hope for your sake you were here at one point in your career.
I'll be home. You won't believe how Preston was about Tim Daly today.
And there was
It's
a
his birthday.
There was a movie that came out in 2009 called The Skeptic. Does that
Okay.
ring a bell at all? Tim Daly, Zoe Saldana, Tom Arnold was in it.
Tom Arnold.
Yeah. Tom Arnold. That Tom Arnold.
Well, I'm
Maybe-
sure Tim Daly said any chance to work with Tom Daly.
Well,
Tim Daly, I mean,
Steve,
Tom Arnold.
his only IMDb credit, Tim Daly's, that came out that in 2009, which is when Chuck's alleged photo happened, was for this 2009, and he also voiced Superman, Batman for a stretch. He was Superman for a little while.
All right, he may have been doing something at the Bucks County Playhouse, maybe.
We need to get
Chuck says it was on our show.
Okay. All right. Rock on.
I trust.
You won't believe how Preston was about Tim Daly.
I've
today.
forgotten so many people that have been on this program live in the studio. It never surprises me. I'm sure we have Mother Teresa here one day, and I wasn't aware of it.
So I do a lot of research and stuff when we do the interviews. I do it my own sheets. Someone will be coming on the show, and I'll just for the hell of it, I go to the search function on the Mac, and there's like 3 pages of what
prep that you did for it. Yeah.
We had them here.
Yep. All right, happy birthday, Tim Daly.
Hey!
All right, let's give away, in honor of that, we have a Rita's $25 gift card.
Tim Daly's favorite.
Caller number 12 at 215-263 WMMR. Rita's is now open, by the way. Download their new mobile app and start scooping up all sorts of cool rewards, and then head out to your local Rita's to enjoy all of your favorite frozen treats. So caller number 12, we're going to take care of you. 215-263 WMMR. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
All 93.3 WMMR.
And you have a natural look, Kathy. So you don't go heavily made up.
So like Renee Zellweger.
So it's not like a filter that
It is. Yeah. So the VSCO app is a filter that you can apply, but it's a lighter filter. So sometimes Instagram models will go very heavy on their filters, right?
Right.
And so you look incredibly made up, and you will take an Instagram app and you'll use that app to change your look essentially on your social media post.
It happens all the time.
VSCO girls, Steve, don't do that. They go the opposite route. They go very natural,
completely raw,
very light makeup,
unfiltered.
Yeah, and there are two essential settings on the VSCO app that you use for your look. And now it's translated from this app to real life.
Okay.
Wow, man, Preston. So when in school we had Crisco girls, we had a lot of fried chicken.
Yeah.
Crisco girl.
They would bring fried chicken to school.
Yeah, those are Crisco girls.
Crisco girls.
Yeah.
My
Florence Henderson was a Crisco. Westonality.
And Steve, they would go.
That's Crisco girl.
It's them eating the skin off of the chicken. So Caroline, my daughter, was wearing a shirt and it was too long. She's like, I'm tucking this in because I don't want to look like a VSCO girl. Not that meaning that she doesn't want to be one, but it looks like you're not wearing pants.
Not wearing pants. Okay,
yeah,
I've seen
you're
this.
not wearing shorts.
I've seen this. I've seen the looking like you're not wearing shorts.
Where did that look? That look has been around before.
No, but I've recently seen it pick up, and I'm like, look at these kids. Like their shorts are so short that they look like they're not wearing any.
My dad was a VSCO girl before anyone knew. He just wear a long coat and shorts.
Yeah.
You also might have known them as flashers.
Yeah.
Hey, so is your daughter into it? Or is she VSCO? What do you say? Help me out here, guys.
She's a Delco girl.
She's a Delco girl, Kath. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how new this scene is, but here's the deal. My kids go to Catholic schools, so they all wear the same thing at school, and then we just got done in the summer, and we were down the beach all the time.
I saw a text that the is supposed to be camera sound.
Oh my God! I love it. I want to be a VSCO boy.
I always wore big clothes. There was a period of time where we looked like we were 900 pounds only because we wore oversized
baggy
clothes.
stuff. Baggy stuff.
Who decided all this stuff? All these various things together make this. You know what I mean?
A VSCO girl.
Yeah.
I think it's just a style. I keep relating it to the hippie. It's just
It
the
is,
hippie
but
like
somebody had to put these pieces together. They don't necessarily, automatically go together.
The thing, Preston, that you're reacting to, and I think I agree, is because like things like this would happen over the course of a little while. And like in school, going to school, you start to see people adopting something, and there'd be a movie or there'd be something that they would, or a musician or somebody they're responding to. But this seems to, for a lot of the people are saying from 0 to 60.
I know.
Because of social media.
It's like now this isn't a fashion thing, but it was an accessory people had. Remember the fidget spinners?
Oh, yeah.
Like that took off in 10 minutes.
Boom.
And everybody had them, and then they were gone.
Look at this. VSCO Girl Starter Pack.
You can buy this
$150
for $150.
Should we get it, guys?
It says Giant VSCO Starter Pack.
Preston, we need to be Crisco boys.
Scrunchies, Crocs.
I like those tie-dye Crocs.
What else? There's the shorts, and oversized shirt. What do you see?
No, Kathy liking the Crocs now.
I like the tie-dye
Just
Crocs.
like 10 minutes ago, she's like, not for adults.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't buy them and wear them.
But Steve, it's funny because you were talking about how these things, how they can happen so quickly. When people are getting back to school this week and they come home demanding the scrunchies, that means that like this thing is taken off and they want to be like all the other people who are in the group.
That's funny.
Some people are texting in, and I've gotten some emails that there is a phrase that goes along, not just the SK one, I oop.
I oop.
I don't know what that means.
There's another one, Nick.
That's
no, no, that's mine. You can't have that.
I oop.
But I oop is a thing.
Can we make that part of the Crisco boys?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's allowed. But
All right, how's I oop spelled?
I oop is I, the letter I, and then OOP.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Again, it says I oop. Here, there's I oop can be used as a reaction to express sudden surprise or shock over an unexpected situation. That's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
For example, you can say it if someone calls someone else out on social media in a mic drop moment, as in, I oop. Okay.
Because it says here, honestly, who says mic drop anymore? That's old now.
That's so old.
Nick, you know that I love you, but I do find it a little creepy that you know the most about this.
Well,
anyone
he
on the
looked
show.
up on BuzzFeed. Research. Yeah, no, I stalk 12-year-olds.
Yeah, do you want to hear it?
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Jasmine
thanks, man.
Masters, I think.
All right.
I crashed in my back seat for a couple of hours, and
All right, okay.
And that's funny.
And, and hence the beginning of a new phrase.
Wow,
bizarre.
Sitting on your balls created a thing.
Where some things come from
and yet
how they take off.
We can't get people to take off.
Nobody can pronounce it.
It's very hard.
That's the only thing.
It's much easier.
Although I got a text from somebody who says I'm 27 and I just found out I'm a VSCO girl.
it's like going and looking at your X-rays. Yeah. I have some bad news. You're a VSCO girl.
What would be some positive workplace habits? It doesn't give any examples here at all, so I'm wondering what we could do. Maybe some yoga or something like that.
Well, let's assess.
Maybe like clean up your area.
Are you talking to me?
No, I was just saying that's like a positive workplace.
I just
putting all my stuff in there. It's a mess.
This morning, Kathy goes to me. She goes, "Oh, your area looks really nice, Steve." And Preston goes, "Oh, what about mine?"
Mine's just an absolute. It looks like an atom bomb went off.
It actually looks worse than the old office.
I haven't done anything. I just dragged all my crap in here.
Listen, I was
and
not
said
talking to you.
I
was just saying in
Steve,
general.
your area looks very nice.
That's pretty mean.
Steve came in over the weekend and worked on his.
I did. Whereas Preston just poured his
I
over.
just brought my
Didn't
stuff
have
over and
chance.
left it. I'm going to work on it today.
I was just complimenting Steve because the shelving in the new office was made specifically for his guys.
Yes, my Batman.
It looks so nice. I wasn't saying it.
Kathy did it in the way where you're talking to one person, but your mouth is actually towards someone else who you want to make sure they hear that particular statement.
Your part of the office looks much better. The cleanly, orderly way you've approached your workspace is impressive.
I swear, I was not saying it because yours was messy.
It did feel good to purge, like
Oh my God, I
getting
love
rid of a
it.
lot of stuff. And I found files from like 2008, 2009 when we moved into that office.
I found that puppy I never gave Marissa.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Listen, to make me realize how long we've been in that office, I've had some stuff hanging in my area on the wall space there, notes that my sons wrote to me.
Oh, yeah.
In little kid
That's
handwriting
cute.
of Daddy, I love you. I hope you have a nice day. I mean, that's how long we've been in that room. We've been in that room for 15 years.
And it does mean a lot because we started when we came here. First off, so that was not initially our first.
I guess
office
it hasn't been
was,
15 years. It's been at least a dozen years.
Right.
Though, but
because we were in it was Kathy, you, and I were in that small office that used to be a closet. Yeah.
So here's another thing that you can do to help get past the post-holiday vacation back-to-work blues. Don't dwell.
Okay.
Don't dwell.
Yeah. Don't feel sorry.
Lou, I couldn't help but noticing that you're dwelling. Isn't that obvious?
Doesn't dwell mean to just live, just to, just to
sort of
stay in one
ruminate,
place?
yeah.
Hanging out.
Don't dwell. Don't feel sorry for yourself, it says. Start some new office habits. This is how to beat the post-holiday.
Should you clean your office area?
The post-holiday vacation back-to-work blues. Clean your damn office. All right, how about this one? This is just, here you go. This is all it says you need to do. Reflect.
Wait, that's too close to dwelling.
Seriously.
Where's the delineation between reflecting and dwelling?
You're not supposed to dwell. However, you should reflect.
God damn it, Earl, I was reflecting.
Looked like you were dwelling.
Well, I wasn't. You nosy ass.
So it says here.
Gentlemen, what? Well, he's always saying I'm dwelling. I was clearly reflecting. My head was up with my chin cocked a little bit to the left. That's reflecting.
That's reflecting.
Dwelling is hands on the temples down.
Yes, yes, chin down. That would be dwelling.
You idiot.
Yeah. Lily Allen and Stranger Things star David Harbour dating.
This is way better.
I had to look up Lily Allen, and I still don't know who she is. Is she a singer?
I believe so, right?
I think
don't
she's
a dancer.
Oh, no.
no, she was a dancer.
She's a dancer.
Oh my God!
Stop.
Oh, I like her.
Oh, her brother's Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones.
And Lily Allen is from a while. She was she had career was on fire about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Her brother is Theon Greyjoy.
Yes.
From Game of Thrones, and she's a singer. No,
she was a dancer.
Jinx, oh my God! Honestly, is she a singer?
She's a singer.
All right.
Her brother is Marcus Allen.
Honestly.
And Preston, is she a singer?
Yeah, she's a singer.
I'm not doing it. I'm
why not? No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
Stop. Gets worse.
Okay, I thought she was an actress.
No, she's a singer.
No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
Okay.
She had a couple of hits. She was at yes. What are some of her hits? We all know her hits.
Well, the girl that we're looking at, the girl that we have up in this photo, I think is the actress that I looked up on IMDb.
No, that's the singer.
No, she was a dancer.
No, she was a dancer.
Jinx, oh my God!
Lily Allen, for Christ's sake, she's a musician, right?
Okay.
Are we looking up two different people?
There are a ton of acting credits for
No, those are soundtrack.
someone named Lily Allen. Those are soundtrack.
Yeah. Those are not acting credits.
Okay. We all
was an
clear?
actor?
Are we clear? No. She's a singer.
She has a song called "F.U."
Okay. Yes, I know that one. All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, they might be dating, her and David Harbour. Londoners have spotted the two out hanging out and, of course, post about it on social media. Somebody wrote, David Harbour, when on earth did this happen? And it was alongside a screenshot of her, of her TV screen showing the couple at a boxing event.
Huh, good for him.
They first sparked rumors earlier this month when they were spotted taking in a West End performance of the Lehman trilogy.
Are we good enough friends with him now to just blow a call in?
Of course we are.
Yeah.
What time is it in London?
We did have a really good time with him.
Yeah.
It's like noon.
Super nice guy. Yeah. It's
So he's probably up.
Yeah, we give him a call.
Hello?
Yeah. David.
Yeah, David, it's Preston and Steve. Are you dating Lily Allen?
Yeah.
She's a singer, right?
No, she was a dancer. Jinx, oh my God!
What are Casey and Kathy doing on this call?
We just had to do that. We had to do that because this is funny.
Okay, bye.
Okay, Woody Allen, maybe persona non grata in Hollywood, but Scarlett Johansson would work with him anytime. The A-lister is one of the few stars to publicly signal her support for the director.
He was the original choice for Captain America.
I did not realize that he would actually...
I don't think the serum worked.
Yeah.
I don't feel very super.
He was the original guy.
Yeah. Imagine that. The thing opens up. Shh, shh. Have I changed dramatically? He comes out worse.
Yeah. They go the opposite direction.
He got older.
He's aged. His eyesight has gone bad. He's wearing glasses. Now his hair's falling out.
Ready to take on the Nazis?
Yeah.
Stuck.
Several stars.
They reach over. He just looks over. Stark's father reaches over and had the lever all the way to the wrong side. I'm sorry. I had it on skinnier. I should have pushed it to muscular.
Several stars, including Frida Pinto, Greta Gerwig, Colin Firth, and Mira Sorvino, expressed regret at working with him previously and pledged to never work with him again. But when the Hollywood Reporter asked Johansson, who worked with him on Match Point, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and Scoop, she had nothing but good things to say about the 83-year-old, whose daughter, of course, accused him of sexual assault. He's denied all this stuff, but she said, how do I feel about Woody Allen? I love Woody, she told the Hollywood Reporter. I believe him, and I would work with him anytime. She said, I see Woody whenever I can, and I have had a lot of conversations with him about it. I have been very direct with him, and he's been very direct with me. He maintains his innocence, and I believe him.
Well, that's her prerogative to take it that way, and that's okay.
She said, but she also understands why others don't. She said it's hard because it's a time where People are very fired up, and understandably, things needed to be stirred up, and so people have a lot of passion, a lot of strong feelings, and are angry, and rightfully so. It's an intense time.
What a missed opportunity that they could have worked in the Avengers films together. It would have been so great.
I ran into somebody who works in our office, and I'd asked her what she did the night before. Maybe it was over the weekend. She's like, yeah, well, I went to an I Do barbecue, and blah, blah, blah. This is kind of scattered over there. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm going to vomit.
But only for people in the wedding party.
Right. Okay.
So
They invite the bridal party over party, and you don't actually know yet until
you get to the party,
Right.
and then they say, by the way, you're all going to be in.
Or they ask you. Yeah.
Okay.
So do attendees at
my brother's? I knew I was going to be in my brother's wedding, but yes, and that to be, it was a custom made.
Never liked the idea of an engagement party, and so you can put a cute little name on it, right?
That's what they do, though. Yeah, that's what whoever they are.
There must be some counselor, commissioner, somebody.
I'm wondering where this started because there's an article on the knot.com, right, which is a wedding magazine and a wedding website. And so do you think that they wrote the article thinking that this might be a thing, or did they write the article because it already was a thing?
I think probably they can help boost it by reporting on it.
Right.
All the not readers. But I don't know. Usually, something has to have a little bit of traction before you report on it, right?
So yeah, I would think so. But so you have an engagement party, okay?
Okay.
You have, I guess now, an I Do barbecue. You have to have a rehearsal dinner.
The rehearsal dinner is what to me. Isn't that that's the wedding party gathering?
That's
right?
what I always thought
right?
it was.
Well, but not anymore, because now if you have out of town guests, if you're going by their rules, you have to invite the out of town guests to the rehearsal dinner.
Right.
So, but but out of town guests who are in the wedding party aren't expected to attend the I Do barbecue.
I think the I Do barbecue is taking over the engagement party. I don't think you're having an I Do barbecue and you're having an engagement party. I think it's sort of one or the other.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you would only invite.
An I Do barbecue is an engagement party.
Yeah, but you're only inviting the people that will be in your wedding party.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that is also, I've been to parties where they only invite the bridal party.
Because let's say you have a big engagement party or your I Do barbecue, but you're only inviting some of the people that are there.
Invite people who can be in the direct wedding party.
But let's say you have like 50 people there, but you're only inviting like 7 of them to be in your wedding party. That's kind of insulting to the other people that show up.
This is
really.
useless.
That's like saying you have to put every single friend in your bridal party. I think you know who's.
But if you're at a party and you're not part of the list there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'll just be waiting over here.
Yeah.
No.
Enjoy your being celebrated by the bride and groom, and I'll just stand over here and have my fruit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So you have all these parties. What are the ones involved with having a baby? There's a shower. Barbara Briss.
I think, are kind of organized so that you don't have to bring a gift. You're not bringing a gift to, do you know what I'm saying?
Gender reveal?
Yeah, like it's more set up like the barbecue. Like come over for a barbecue. You don't quite know what it is. But whereas an engagement party is, if you show up without a gift, or at least for me, if I showed up without a gift, I would feel awkward.
All right, hang on. I just saw a text that came over. It said Connor Betts, he's a assistant producer here, went to an I Do barbecue. I'd like to know if he brought a gift with him to the I Do barbecue. Because Kathy, I think you have to bring a gift to an I Do barbecue.
I don't know. Here, Connor's.
All right, we need an explanation, clarification, in case I, by some stretch of the imagination, get invited to an I Do barbecue. I want to know what to do.
Connor?
I did not bring a gift.
Okay.
Were you aware that it was an I Do barbecue before you attended?
Yes.
Okay, so that and it's the premise of the I Do barbecue when it was presented to you that you were coming because you were going to be asked to be a part of this wedding party?
Yes, and I was not a part of the wedding.
All right, did your girlfriend bring a gift?
No.
Okay.
So when you went...
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the gender reveal is to come. We're all finding out together what the baby is going to be. You're not going to bring a gift to that. The the baby shower. Yes, that's the point of a baby shower. Your friends, your family, they're bringing gifts so that you can be prepared for when the baby comes.
Connor prefers to be called Moose.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
That's just a nickname from high school.
Oh, I did not know that.
High school into college, and everybody calls me.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I didn't know that. Nice to meet you, Moose.
So Moose, what was it like at the I Do barbecue?
Well, I didn't bring a gift, one, because they are wealthy and I am poor.
Right.
So I think my mom might have brought a gift, but I did not.
And so who with the cluster that you attended, who was asked to be in the bridal party?
It was my friend's brother's engagement party, I guess. So then we were all friends with him, and it was a bunch of my friends, and then I was not asked.
Did they line you up?
I was backup.
Did they line you up in a row and then yes, no?
Yes. Yeah, it's like picking for kickball.
Right, yeah. Right? No. And then, Connor, you're there with the caterer standing there.
Yeah, it was me and the caterer and the dog.
Right, yeah.
On the side.
These are the ones who will not be in our wedding party. Shame them.
Sorry, Moose.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
But you didn't go to the party expecting to be asked to be in the bridal party, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit?
No.
With how good you look in a gown?
You don't have every friend you know in your bridal party.
No, but I'm saying this seems oddly. It is like being picked for teams in school.
No.
And you're left out of it.
No.
It's like, why not break up into shirts and skins?
Well, I had never heard the term I Do barbecue before, but apparently that's another one to add to the list with your gender reveals, your sprinkles, your showers, your engagement
golden
parties,
showers,
your golden showers,
butterscotch bandits,
and that's
Carl
overcomers.
Guys, you're combining things that don't.
It's disgusting.
It's not.
Yeah, Overcomer was a movie.
We're here for the hot Carl party.
What were you gonna say, guys?
I just don't make your wedding more special than it really is.
Yeah.
You know,
Or do it since it's your wedding.
yeah, suicide. You know,
Wow.
You're not.
Congratulations. It might end up in a murder-suicide.
Keith Morrison. It started with an idea.
Pierre is in the studio, about ready to take over for the day.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle.
It is a miracle.
Every day's a miracle.
Every day's a miracle. He, on his way in, found some wonderful...
Reported over to my office. I said, if anything, they're ordered and on their way. In fact, one should be arriving at the house today.
Yeah. Claire, God bless her.
She really is a saint.
She is a saint.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she said, no more in this house. Send them to the office of the assortment.
In the house. But there's still room in the house.
No, I mean up online, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so that people can see how many Batman, Superman, other figurines you have.
Just go to our Instagram page.
Yeah. We posted yesterday. There's more on the way.
Yeah, so this is just beginning, but mostly featuring Batman and Iron Man.
Right. Okay.
Right now, I have to go. There's a picture of it in the studio right now.
Oh, this is the new office.
Yeah.
But Steve has used Ty statues.
Yeah.
And they're not 5 feet high.
All right. They're 4.5 feet high.
4.5 feet. Yeah.
And the Iron Man gets a giant Iron Man head.
That's a 1-to-1 scale Iron Man head.
Wow.
I'm so glad listen, it looks good. You've organized it so nicely. I am proud of you. But I'm glad there's a buffer between me and you.
And that buffer is Nick.
It's Nick.
Yeah.
I've started to straighten up my area.
You have. It's
and
looking
my collections are coming too. So I have display area finally. So I'm going to put some of my stuff up.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to do the swords.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we threw the swords out.
No, I have a couple of swords. There's one like the Philadelphia Pipe and Drums brought us this really cool. It's engraved and everything. So that's for the show. I need to find somewhere for that. But I have other collections that I'm going to bring and display.
Are we going to do that thing that we were talking about? That one idea where we were floating?
We got to
around?
do that. Yeah, we'll hopefully get to that soon.
Okay,
that's an idea, and we'll get to it.
Yeah. We're not going to reveal what it is.
We're going to put a chopping board in the middle of the room and hang our pots and pans from the ceiling.
No, that's Kathy's sections, along with the doilies and the Martha Stewart tribute area.
You know what? I've always wanted that. I've never had a setup where I can hang my pots and pans from like a ceiling setup.
I like that look. My wife doesn't like it, so we didn't get it.
Here's why I do like it. It looks great. But you can't use the pots because once there's a stain and you hang it up, now it looks ridiculous.
Shut up.
I'm just saying that's when
Once
it doesn't
there's
look
a
good.
stain,
That's why she's.
that shows that that's a working kitchen.
Which is
There
fine.
would never be a stain if it was me because they'd never be used.
Me neither.
It would
That's
look
why I always
lovely.
wanted it.
It would work in your house.
Yeah.
See, that's why we should live together.
That's why we are married but stay apart.
Right. Forever.
I mean, you can't have sex all the time.
Well, exactly.
No, it's the perfect marriage. We don't live together and we don't have to have sex.
Yeah, you just love each other and then leave it at that.
We just love each other, and that's all
Kathy,
there is to it.
had she not met Dennis, she would have been married to a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be the perfect thing. What are you in for murder? Love it.
Right each other.
Yeah.
I didn't give away whatever it was I had yesterday.
You didn't?
So whatever that is.
It was a turkey.
Okay.
It was a turkey.
We'll give it away today.
It was and pounds of steak.
And
so,
pounds of steak.
Yeah, not just a pound. Several pounds of steak.
I would like 7 pounds of steak.
7 pounds of steak. You got it, Buster. Step right up to Pierre's Butcher Shop. I got all the blood you need.
You should get for Halloween one year. You should go as a butcher, like with blood splattered, apron and everything. That'd be perfect.
A vegetarian butcher with all the zucchinis hanging from.
Yes, and mangled tofu hanging from my locks.
Mangled tofu hanging from your locks.
Mangled tofu would be like dreadlocks, but tofu locks.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right,
Actually,
we're
I
cooking
don't,
with gas
but anyway.
now, mustard.
Oh my God.
Please welcome the one and only Mr. John Travolta to our studio. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Nice to see you.
You sound good.
Thank you. I feel good. I feel very good. You know what? As I was introducing you, and I said, "Welcome to Philadelphia." You shot a film here in Philadelphia.
I did. I shot Blowout.
Yeah,
which is a Brian De Palma great movie.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
So this movie, we want to talk about The Fanatic, which is I actually when I started watching it, I wanted to go into it cold, and it's a big departure for the kind of roles that you play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror suspense, but it also takes a peek inside the world of TMZ and fandom run Fanatical. And your character is very unique. And from what I understand, the character was written with you in mind. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Fred Durst from the Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
He wrote it, and he directed it. And I will say that he is quite inspired as a director and as an actor even.
Right.
And he helped quite a bit. He would improvise with me prior to the takes, and he designed this character, and I understood it because I am a fan. I'm a fan as much as we all are. And I think if you don't understand that, whether it's sports or whether it's the arts or icons or whomever you admire, you can't do this kind of role.
It's funny because John, because I collect things. I'm a massive movie fan. I'm a huge fan of yours as well. And there's something that, and it's your character exemplifies in the movies. Well, just to be able to get the tactile sensation of touching something that a celebrity or there's this bizarre thing. I remember it's odd, as I was watching the movie, I was thinking the story that Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert, it was very important for him to own the white suit that you wore on Saturday
That's
night.
Correct.
And he owned that. It was a holy grail for him.
Yes,
so
and
you
then
could
Jane Fonda bought it.
Right. So
you're completely correct. But this particular guy, this character I play, is he's a man-child. He is maybe a little bit on the spectrum, which explains his irrational behavior. However, That being said, he's picked on and bullied at work, and everyone bullies him, but he's so used to it that he handles it. But when his favorite person in the world bullies him, this movie star, he doesn't know how to handle it. He gets confused. And when he gets confused, he does really odd things. And you'll see in the film that he goes over the line, but so does the movie star.
Yeah, and
the movie star goes over the line equally as well, you know, by torture.
And his inability to pick up on social cues, it takes it down a path where it's like, oh no. And I got to tell you, John, the entire time while watching this movie, I don't think there was a moment where something on my body wasn't clenched.
Yeah.
Whether it was my hands or my mouth or even my butt cheeks. I mean, I was just like, it was tense.
Well, because
the
it's
whole thing.
Nothing
you know?
times up. The point when you finally get to have this moment with Hunter Dunbar's his name is the character. He has a bad experience, and you just happen to come upon him at that time, and it never syncs up right. So that starts.
That's correct. It's also a movie about bad timing.
Yeah, and then some.
Because if he had just been in the right mood and had his autograph, he would have been over.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, then we wouldn't have had a movie.
Yes.
But what I thought was brilliant was that I loved that your character before all that started to happen. So I almost felt bad, and I was like, well, it's not that bad that he's doing some of these things, you know. But then it progresses into the movie. But you really made me love that character before you found out the other stuff.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted him to be loved because I feel like everyone is a little bit of the character Moose. We all have a little Moose in us. It's just how far do we take it? And if we didn't have Moose in us, how would we be, you know, ourselves to create an effect on others?
Yeah, I might be in your plane later.
Well, Hunter Devon Sawa, is that the actor who's playing Hunter?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, nobody's all that awesome in this. As far as friends, and I like that because that's sort of real. But I like as a Bobby, you know, to pick up some money, and there are these things going on in that world that sort of for some reason Hollywood, when depicted in a seedier fashion, sort of.
Well, also maybe that's a bit of the truth.
Yeah. But in a way, that's sort of, and that's almost sort of enticing too. That bizarre aspect.
Yeah, I love how L.A. is depicted in this film. I think it's very real and tragic almost. You know.
I thought in watching the movie at first, and now seeing you today, I probably know it's not the case, but I thought maybe you would cut your own hair. For the role?
No, it was really cool because I said, when I loved the script and wanted to do it, I said to Fred Durst, what do we do about how he looks? I mean, the Hawaiian shirt was shirts and bad sneakers and all that. But I said, what about the hair?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's overdone. And he said, well, there's a lot of different kinds. Would you care to look? So I looked on the internet, about 100 different types. And boom, suddenly there was this dude with the exact haircut Moose has with glasses. And I texted it to Fred and I said, I found the look. I found it. And he said, I agree. This is the right way to go.
I have to tell you, I was at it, and when I saw this character of Moose, I've told you guys this story. I was at a convention, real fan like this, not Moose level, but. And Adam West was there, the original Batman. So everyone's
Adam
there.
West.
There was a guy who looks exactly like your character in this knapsack, the whole thing, the backpack, with about 50 cans of Fresca in that thing, and that same sort of delivery. And you work on this character with that, Mr. West, and he's sort of that thing, and so your heart sort of that this is not just a hobby; it's his life.
And there is a difference. There's a professional fan that usurps signatures and sells them.
Right.
And then there's the guy that ain't selling nothing.
Yeah.
And is going to keep it. And that's Moose. Moose is not getting rid of any of his memorabilia at all. So how do you detect the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely there is a difference.
And you're known to be fan friendly. When the opportunity is right and that person does approach you
respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. Do you know what you're giving them? I would think, this is a very special moment for them.
Absolutely. And I grew up being a fan, so I understood.
Right.
And I remember very kind of, just discarded my this is before I was famous. And I decided that if I ever became famous, I would never do that. So I live by that motto, you know. But again, how do you navigate the line of privacy? And
It is a tough line because, and again, with people who approach you, and you know, we always think in that. Listen, we're on local radio, but whatever the stories, if somebody comes up, it's, you know, every time the edict is you shake hands, you say hi, you do the deal, because that's an important thing, and you know, sometimes as what happens with Hunter, the star in this, he lets his life cloud his remembering, because it starts off with a quote from him, "I'm nothing without my fans," but he doesn't abide by that.
Well, sometimes there are good people that are bad celebrities.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Right.
So my cure to that always has been, don't go out unless you're in the mood for it.
That's good. Good rule. Yeah.
You know, are you in the frame of mind if you go out to dinner to be interrupted, bothered, whatever, take pictures? And if you are, go out.
Yeah.
If you're not, that's just part of the very small price you pay for this glorious life that we have.
Well, case in point, in 1996, you met a nice 21-year-old young man in Beverly Hills, California, and I had a job at the time where I was driving around cars for Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Beverly Hills, and I saw you, and the only thing that I could think to say was, "Oh my God, that's John Travolta," and you came over and you looked me in the eye just like you did 10 minutes ago and shook my hand and said, "Hi, it's very nice to meet you." And then you went about your day, but you couldn't have been more pleasant. And I've heard countless stories of how kind you are to people, and it's not hard to be nice. And I think people just lose sight of that. It's really easy to just be a decent, nice person to everybody else.
Let's face it, what you resist, you become. The more you withdraw from it, the worse it gets. So just, you know, own it.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to tell you, on the shaved head thing, I endorse it 100%.
You look good.
There's a movie that I love of yours. A lot of people are not familiar with it. They should be. It's From Paris with Love.
Oh, hell yeah.
And damn, you are the baddest badass in that movie. Preston, this movie will rock your world.
Okay, I haven't seen
and John is amazing at it. Who's the director of that?
That's the guy that did oh gosh, you've tested me now.
Yeah, he's great. He's done a whole bunch of stuff that's similar.
Fantastic.
But did you enjoy making that film?
I loved it.
Yeah,
because they were demanding stunts and action that I've never, you know, had done before, and I had to do them myself. And I loved the badass character. He was just whatever he was bold.
Yeah,
Pierre Morel, is that it?
Yes, there's some
Morel.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, I looked it up.
You've
so.
saved me.
What would you prefer, stunts or dancing?
Dancing.
Come on.
Any day.
Well, did Pitbull inspire?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
He's your buddy. You're in a video of his.
I love my Pitbull. He's I met him 3 years ago just to reach out and tell him, you know, how much, as a fan.
Right.
And then he's such a brilliant entrepreneur. He got thinking about it, and he said, maybe I should have put him in one of my videos dancing, because nobody's dancing very much anymore, you know?
Right.
He does, but nobody else really. So I thought, well, hell, I'll join him. And
I think Christopher, I'm sorry to interrupt. I think Christopher Walken has danced in every single movie, even if it's for just a quick shuffle step. I think in every single role he's ever done.
Got a Broadway history of music. Yeah,
and you danced with him in Hairspray.
I certainly did.
Yes.
He played my husband.
That's right.
So I wanted to ask you, because you had 3 movies in a row that I really loved of yours, and it started with Wild Hogs. I can't believe I loved it as much as I mean, I was laughing out loud.
It's a funny movie.
It is a funny movie. It really is. It surprised me with how funny it was. I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment or whatever, but
no, it's a funny movie, and who would have thought a bunch of old guys in motorcycles would be that funny?
But your character as Edna Turnblatt in Hairspray, and I love that movie. I have songs from that movie in my iPod. You Can't Stop the Beat is a really, really great song.
Great. Yeah.
And then followed by Bolt. And speaking of songs,
he's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I have I Nearly Lost You. It was a duet that you did with Miley Cyrus. Yes. I have that on my iPod.
Do you really?
I do. And I thought you sounded great in that. So this is a long diatribe. But what do you prefer, singing or dancing?
I'd still prefer dancing, but I enjoy singing because I did both as an early professional. In order to work in New York, you had to sing, you had to act, you had to dance. 3 chances of getting employment.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed all of them,
Yeah.
but I'm most comfortable dancing. And then and then probably acting and singing. I just happened to be able to hold a pretty good tune, you know.
Well,
and I had a very high, like almost a high baritone or tenor.
You still do.
Voice, yes.
You still do. I mean, in Bolt, in that song, and I would ask anybody that, you know, has an iTunes account or whatever, listen to the song if you haven't heard it before. It's the song that ends.
He's played it for us many times.
Maybe, but it's the song that runs at the end of the movie.
Well, it just seems that my voice is like, for instance, You're the One That I Want in Greece.
Yeah.
And Bolt song, there's this high, you know, range that I sing in that it's kind of different than most people. So it's kind of identifiable as my niche or something as a singer.
I love the way you sing. You're the one that, because you're the one that I want.
Yeah, a lot of yodels in that song.
A lot of yodels. So with the career as long as yours, getting back to the fanatic,
it's biblical, yes.
It seems I never hear stories of you. There never seems to be a situation like a moose ending up. You know, you don't seem to draw that kind of.
I don't, because I think because I embrace my fans.
Yeah.
And I actually communicate with them. There is not that urge to. I'm not a mystery as much, you know, and I'm not a can't have.
Right.
And as soon as you become a can't have, it starts a frenzy, you know.
So some people are calling it a horror suspense. You know, do you like things of the things that make you uncomfortable?
I like the ones I've done. Like, I love Carrie. You know, when I was a kid, I did that movie. And
was that your first major film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Brian De Palma, and then we got together again for Blowout, and I certainly love that.
Which is so we work obviously with audio. It took the classic film Blow Up and made it audio.
Yes, exactly.
And so I remember thinking, and I thought with the editing and all that stuff, it actually was one of the things like I think I want to do this. But Brian De Palma is a brilliant director. Did you see the documentary on him recently?
I haven't.
He goes on about you in it, and just nothing but accolades and working with you. But it's a really cool insight to the movie.
When did this come out? I'd love to see it.
I watched it on iTunes.
Netflix,
Yeah,
iTunes?
It's probably all over the place.
I'm gonna have to see that one, because I love documentaries.
Yeah.
I mean, they're my favorite entertainment.
There's actually CNN is doing a good series on movies now, a documentary series, and you are figuring prominently in it as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two things to watch.
John, I wanted to ask in The Fanatic, your character Moose mentions a couple of times somebody you've worked with before, and that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
And
she's got two pools.
I got a kick out of hearing that, because I'm sure you guys are friends, or have been over the years, and maybe it's been a while. But has word gotten back to her that, or have you heard from her that she's mentioned in that?
Not yet, but soon.
Okay.
Soon. I invited her to the premiere, so maybe she'll learn that.
Yeah. I thought, was that Fred's idea to include that, or did he write that in?
Okay. He wrote that. All the dialogue is. I improvise quite a bit, but all the primary dialogue is Fred's.
Okay.
Because it seems. But I was reading that he was working with you, sort of. Asking questions to Moose to incite responses, so that you started to think.
Well, that's
in that
the actor, and Fred he's a really terrific actor as well as a director. But he's the only director I've worked with that actually could do this. But he would legitimately improvise with me as Moose, and it got me in the frame of mind. And then I would go to each department. I go to the lighting department, the wardrobe, the makeup here, and I'd be in character, and I'd have them ask me questions. And it was like a juggernaut. And as soon as Fred sensed that I had arrived at the Moose Zone,
the Moose Zone,
boom, we would do action.
That's cool.
And it was a very, very great way to. There's nothing better for an actor to prep than for someone to ask them questions about them.
In the character.
In the character. So to think in the character.
Is that classically what we would refer to as method?
No, I'd say it's a method.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the classic method, because it is more about reliving past incidents and things. I think this is.
And you never had a mullet.
And I never had a mullet. But I do think that assuming the beingness of a character quickly is where you want to be when you do a role, and it helps you to be that when you're asked questions. before you go on.
Sure.
You know, it's nice.
You didn't have a mullet, but you did have long hair in Pulp Fiction, and I get you in my phone fairly frequently when I'm not when I'm running late to the gym. My trainer will send me a text, and it's just you doing the looking around at me give in Pulp Fiction. But in that role, you played such an interesting character because you're lost a lot of the time, and you know you're in this haze, but you're also in this like euphoria. Where did that come from?
It's a very good question, because you know he's a hitman, but he's also what they call a chippy, a weekend heroin addict. And I thought, well, I have no reality on that. I'm gonna have to find out. So I interviewed several heroin addicts and asked them about how they felt. And then finally one day I said, look, I'm never gonna do it, so you have to help me understand that feeling. And he said, okay, well, I really can't, but if you have to know the beginning of the feeling, is get really drunk on tequila and lay in a body of warm water. And he said that little bit of feeling is the beginning of that.
Did you do that?
I did that. And of course, when I'm not a drinker either, but when I did it, everyone I knew wanted to join me in the experiment. Oh, that sounds cool. When are we doing that? Wow. Okay, we are doing my character study together tomorrow night.
Man, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
It was fun, and then from there I grew, and then with the descriptions that they told me, and I was able to design it. But that's even Quentin didn't know all the time what I was doing, because he just trusted me. He said, John, well, I don't why he's walking that slow, why he's talking this slow, I'll figure it out later. But
he let you go? He just let you go?
He just let me go.
Wow.
Because I think the great ones do that. Brian De Palma and Quentin and Robert Altman and Mike Nichols, all those guys I worked with all had that one thing in common. They hired you, you're 90% there. 10% is guiding you here and there.
Is that what happened? So it's Saturday Night Fever. John Badham was the director?
Yeah, he let me go because I said, Badham, you're from Texas. I'm from New York. I know this guy better.
Yeah.
So leave me alone. I'll help you with me, and then I won't interfere with how you direct it.
It's got to be the ultimate compliment as an actor for a director to say, you got it.
It is, and it's the smartest.
Yeah.
If the actor is trustworthy.
Right.
I think it's the only way to go. Because otherwise you get a mediocre performance as opposed to a kind of a higher end performance.
I want to ask you, you've worked with John Woo twice, right?
Oh, yes.
So you did Face Off and Broken Arrow. And for a guy who's so incredibly likable, you play a incredibly adroit prick in those movies. You are so evil.
I haven't figured that out yet. How is that possible?
But it seems to me you enjoyed it so much, especially with playing basically Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
With that, and you are so hilariously evil in that. Was that just a joy?
It was a joy,
yeah.
And it was easier for me than it was for Nicholas.
Because he had to tamp down.
Well, Nicholas really had to find me somewhere, and he had a hard time finding me in the movies because I'm different in most movies. But Nicholas is very specific in his talk and his behavior, and so it was a little easier for me to grasp his side of it than it was for him to grasp my side.
So I wanted to ask you, let's get away from acting for a second. I wanted to ask you about your planes and your pilot's license. What ratings do you have, and how long did it take you to get them?
Okay, you ready for the long list?
Well, so I have a couple of friends that are pilots, and so I'm a little bit familiar with it.
Okay, I have 10,000 hours in the air.
Jeez.
It's quite a bit. I have, 12 jet ratings, 747, 707, Gulfstream, Citation, Lear, Hawker, Falcon jet, 3 different fighter jets.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Wait, which fighter? Because Preston and I have both flown in fighter jets.
Yeah, I went
we
up with the.
didn't pilot it.
No, I got to fly mine alone. I went up with the Blue Angels. And,
did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
A media flight. It was amazing.
Did they make you sick?
I passed out and puked.
That's why I won't go with them, because I don't want to do that. I have too much pride to end up, doing that. But
yeah, it was FA-18. You were in an F-16 because he was with the Air National Guard.
I wore a G suit, so I didn't pass out or get sick.
Yeah, well,
but I
that's
did pull 9
good
Gs.
for you.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell them before. You have to say, you know what? I don't want to get sick. Please don't make me. Yeah. So that's my.
And how many years? How long did it take?
Oh God, I've been flying since I was 16.
Okay.
Really? It blows my mind when I see a shot of you sitting in the cockpit of a 707. I mean, because I know my litmus test has always been if you've ever locked your keys in your car, you shouldn't be a pilot. So but to me that it requires such a skill set and an attention to detail. And you just legitimately, we know about like David Gilmour as a pilot, and there are a lot of people just love it. I'm thrilled with the notion, but I would never do it because I know my own limitations. But I mean, when you get behind when you're flying a 747, are you white knuckling it, or are you just in absolute ecstasy?
No, I find that the bigger the plane, the more almost simple it is.
Really?
Yeah, and less complex. Well, it's complex in its systems, but it's, there's a lot of booster systems and boosted systems, I should say, that make it like a power steering. It's kind of effortless.
Backups.
You don't really feel the size of the plane.
All right.
In the smaller jets, you actually feel it more.
Would there be enough room for me to lay down and cry? Because that's all I have.
Yes, you can lay down and cry.
Being famous, you have a lot of people have the privilege of having private jets and being flown all over the place. When you do get into one of your jets or something, are you flying it?
Yes, for the most part, unless I'm tired, and then you shouldn't be.
Did you see there was a news story yesterday? Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s citation that went off the runway, caught on fire.
Really?
Everybody got out. Everybody was okay, but the plane was a total loss. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to look that up.
Yeah,
I think you always learn by these things.
Okay. Yeah, they're the FAA and the Safety Administration are looking at it. Speaking of aircraft, your 707 is getting is being donated.
Yes, I'm donating to Australia. I've had it 18 years and I loved it, but it's getting antiquated and it's time to give it away. So I'm donating it to an Australian museum.
Was this the one we heard? We were talking to Olivia Newton-John, and she said that she had never seen Grease, and you had her and her husband.
Yes.
Come on. Well, his husband had never seen.
He had never seen.
And
Grease.
you actually went on the plane and watched it.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. I said, if you're going to marry Olivia Newton-John, you better see Grease.
Oh, that must have been so much fun.
It was watching his reaction, because then he became the entertainment, watching him watch the screen, like I did with my dad with Mary Poppins when I was 10. I wanted him so badly to see it that I watched him the whole movie, watch the screen.
There was a screening of Grease last night at the Mann Music Center, which is this great venue in town, and the Philadelphia Orchestra was there to perform the soundtrack, and they just do a phenomenal job of accompanying the live music with the movie, and people were just going nuts for it. I mean, the movie's nearly 40 years old, or maybe it's 40 years old at this point.
It is, and it is a phenomenon. It's really interesting to see how each generation embraces that film. Because I remember when I was little, watching Yankee Doodle Dandy or,
Cagney.
Watching Wizard of Oz, and they all held up, but they were only 20 years old at that time.
Yeah.
This movie's 40, and it's still like it was as though it were done last year.
Yeah, it's pretty timeless.
It's really timeless, which I'm proud of.
It's funny, though, because I think there was a certain group in time where I was very aware of silent films, and it wasn't like I was around, thank God,
yes, but they showed them on
you would see
4 o'clock movie.
Right. And you had an appreciation for it. That's a little harder to get now. But I mean, so for right now, I think a lot of people to be turned on to the movies of the 70s, which you are a part of.
Sure.
The second golden era of Hollywood.
Yes.
Because these are great movies that sit there, and when kids or younger people discover them, the light goes on. It's like, oh.
Yes,
because
the more timeless they are, the more they discover them, not only in a new unit of time, but as though it were they were back then.
Yeah.
And it had the same impact, because Grease and Saturday Fever seemingly, even Urban Cowboy, to have the same impact on the new generation that it had on people then.
Absolutely.
For some reason.
Still as profound as ever. Yeah.
It seems it. Do you know?
Yeah, as I did musical theater growing up, and Grease is the one play that has always eluded me, and I always wanted to play Danny Zuko, and now
I wanted to play Sandy.
Yeah, as a 44-year-old man, that's never gonna happen.
Oh, it's
at that point, you're Donald Zuko at that point.
I think you should do what the Fox News Group did today. They did a reenactment of Grease. They filmed it per shot.
Oh, really?
Yes. You guys could do that.
We could do that.
We've got our Sandy. We've got all our T-Birds here.
Sure.
Frenchie.
I'm the lesser known guy, Baldy. So
It doesn't matter. Just do the leather jacket. You're home.
I mean, we still to this day, if somebody says rockin' and rollin',
And whatnot.
of course,
It just finishes all the time.
Every single time.
Without
That's
fail.
hilarious.
Well, so just thank you for all of that stuff that you've given us
you're
over the years. It's a
stuff.
real pleasure actually looking at you in the flesh. It's you have beautiful eyes.
Really?
Man, it didn't get uncomfortable to the very end.
No, are you kidding? I'm an actor. I love compliments. Please, more.
You're dressed really nice too. And what a watch on you in the pocket square.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've decided that we're each other's scenery, and that at some point, maybe not for yourself, but for another person, you have to be presentable.
yeah.
So anyway,
You had a great quote on Good Morning America. You're making the round, so you were hitting those guys, and you said something I thought was a great outlook, and you said, life is art. Life is art, so appreciate it, enjoy it, and it's here for your entertainment.
well, it is, because I think so many people don't view life as an art, but how you eat, who you spend time with, where you go, how you do it, how you dress is all part of an art if you choose to allow it to be an art. It's not just the quote unquote arts of music and dance and sports, and it's actually how we live. What we're doing right now. Well, of course, this is an art because you're on radio performing.
Yeah.
But it's how we interact is also part of the art of life.
I love that. I love that outlook. All right. Well, if you want to see John definitely in a role
big departure,
unlike he's ever been in, then you want to see The Fanatic. It's a great movie, and it's in theaters on August 30th. Wonderful to have you here, John. Thanks so much.
This was probably the most fun I've ever had at an interview situation. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much.
And loved your story, Nick, and I loved your story, Casey. Oh my God, two great stories.
I want to hug you so bad right now.
Let's hear it. John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. Ewan McGregor is in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that centers around his Star Wars character for Disney Plus, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law. It's a departure.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think you should let him off with time served.
I'm giving you time served.
He's using the Jedi mind trick to sway the judge.
I think you should find him innocent.
I'm finding you innocent.
I object!
There's no way that's legal.
It's totally legal.
Oh, my God.
I think you need to go to sleep.
I got to go to sleep now.
That would be...
I would
be
brilliant.
I would totally
attorney at law.
This isn't the evidence you're looking for.
Yeah.
Even if you're stone cold guilty, give me a call.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the commercials. Yeah.
Demand Kenobi.
Yeah. And he's licensed in Missouri.
I am.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not, I'll convince them I am.
Yes, that's right.
I'm licensed in Missouri.
He's licensed in Missouri.
Better call Obi.
Would he wear would he be a cowboy hat?
Space cowboy.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Type? Oh, my God. Obi-Wan Kenobi, attorney at law.
Anytime, day or night, even on New Year's Day.
Coming soon to Disney Plus.
Or Life Day on the Wookiee home planet.
No, this could be good. I loved him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't care for the series of movies, but I thought he pulled it off
I agree.
Wonderfully.
He was the thing that kept me watching, and he provided, I believe, the emotional core to those. The second and third movies I really do like. I think they're good. In just tone and in some way, the distinction between the Abrams movies, the artificiality of the first trilogy was almost too much. It was so CGI'd that it was hard to connect to.
Yeah,
But
everything on the screen was fake.
Yeah.
Except for the people, and even in that case, a lot of like Jar Jar obviously was fake. But there's a big stretch of time where we don't know what happens with Obi-Wan, and maybe they'll fill in that time.
All right, thank you, Kathy. By the way, I want to mention this again. Marissa put together a tip sheet for those who are headed to Cardboard Classic, and it's got some information for newbies. It's got some information for people who have never been to Montage before.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything in there for you to sample and get yourself ready for Friday, day after tomorrow. We actually head there tomorrow because we stay the night because we have to do our morning show and we have to be, there by, before 5 a.m. and get set up. So we're just going and spend the night tomorrow night. So actually, I got to get packed up today.
I'm all set.
I have a full day tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to do it. So I got to make sure I get to that and get ready and get on board for this whole thing.
It was a wonderful thing. So I keep the bag that I use the most often, Preston. I leave the toiletries in there. I'm like, I'm going to get what I need to get. And I opened it up and it was all there.
Dude, I do the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Shaving cream, razor.
I should probably unpack it, but I don't.
I leave it there.
Just so when it comes time to travel again, it's sitting there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's not going to go bad.
I have a shave kit, essentially.
Yes.
And I have that stuff never moves. I only take that on the road.
Right.
So everything stays
Same
in there.
thing.
Do you
love it?
Do you keep extra undies and change of clothes and stuff in there as well? Okay.
I have an emergency pair of undies in case I poop
It's
myself.
not that big.
Yeah.
I mean, I pack those with me, of course.
My shave kit is in my sort of one night or 2 night travel bag, so I keep that. This is ridiculous, but I keep that in the travel bag, and in that travel bag, spare underwear.
Okay, that's good. At an emergency, you might add it's a bug out bag, man.
And for Christmas this year, my son got me a new pair of ski pants. I put those in the bag, anticipating Cardboard Classic back in December, and I haven't taken them out of that bag, so I'm ready to go.
For you.
All set. It's going to be very cool. And we're up actually we're going to be up on a deck watching everything in a new configuration. I'm very excited about that.
Dude, I'm super excited for this year's Cardboard Classic. I missed it. I'm glad we took a couple years off, but I'm really glad that it's coming back. I'm really psyched that it's at Montage this year.
Agreed. And if you can't make it this year, just know that the tradition is back up and running. This is going to be our new home. Yeah. We'll get it all set up and squared away this year. And man, it's very cool.
If they have us back after this show.
Yeah.
They're not, I think they know what they're getting into.
Hope so.
I hope they know what they're getting into and what to expect. And then you have like a concert on top of all this and stuff.
Fireworks.
Excellent. So, day after tomorrow is when the event is. In the meantime, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about stuff going on around here.
Are you the other talker?
No, I'm the city beat.
Oh, city beat.
Scoobily wow wow.
Yeah.
I mischaracterized him as the other talker. He's the meat behind the beat that has the really gorgeous feet.
Heading down the street.
Head down the street.
On the city beat.
And there's there's Pete.
So, PennStakes.com have analyzed hundreds of Google searches for Google Maps over the past 12 months to find out which states have been searching for directions the most. And they've come up with the top Pennsylvania cities who have the worst sense of direction.
So who conducted this?
Penn Stakes. PENNSTAKES.
All right.
So they did this, and so they've come up with the top Pennsylvania cities who have the worst sense of direction, meaning that they needed help by downloading directions and whatnot.
Okay. I'm going to throw. I don't want to pre-throw a wrench into this. Will you, even if you're going to a place you've been to many times before, and but it's not a place that you go to every other day, will you throw it into the?
I'll do it on Waze because Waze analyzes traffic patterns, but Google Maps I don't think does.
Okay,
but
no, they do.
Oh, they take the traffic into consideration?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just pass on this then.
Why?
Because people might be using it just to avoid traffic then.
Oh, good point.
yeah.
That's why I use it.
Yeah.
Even if I'm going home from here, I will put it in to see if there's which way is the best way, fastest way.
I've heard more and more people. Preston, I wonder if you were to hand someone a Hagstrom or a Rand McNally these days. In fact, you had a great idea, and we should do it. And it was based on something a while ago, which was bring in some stuff, some older tech. And see if the interns could do it.
Right. Chuck says he's got a ton of stuff that we could do.
Yeah, I ended up getting when we drove across the country in September, I bought a road atlas just in case we were in an area with no cell coverage and we needed it and we had that, but I ended up leaving that in the car. Press, I was going to my daughter's school on Friday night and I had a ton of traffic on Montgomery Avenue. And I was supposed to be there early, and I ended up getting there just right around on time. And I was like, I can't say anything to my wife because we drove separate because she's going to say, why didn't you pull up Waze? And because she uses Waze not to tell her how to get somewhere necessarily because she doesn't know, but because of the whole traffic implications. And if I pulled ways up, they would have told me stay off of Montgomery.
Who here in the studio has the worst sense of direction? Who would you?
Ooh.
I think I had the best.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a good sense of, north, south, east, west and all that, but I don't know the roads as well as my wife does.
Yeah, but that's what I would say. Go to a place that you're not familiar with,
Right.
And who could.
I'm
get themselves
pretty
out.
damn good. Even Sans GPS. In fact, specifically, if you were to take me to a place and if I'm driving, that's one of the keys. I will be able to negotiate my way back out and probably back to it because I do remember landmarks and my impression and spatial awareness is pretty damn good.
So is that what affects your memories, the landmarks?
Landmarks.
Because for me, I'm a map nerd.
Yeah.
So I look at the maps and study the roads, and that's where my brain goes.
Right.
So if I'm thinking about directions to get in and out of someplace, I'll think in my mind
the images you saw of the map.
What that map looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you went to the Art Institute of Chicago, right, when we were there? Okay. I got lost inside there, And my wife,
I could see that.
But she knew I was like, no, we got to go right. She's like, no, we got to go left. I'm like, trust me on this one. And we ended up like in the cafeteria or something like that.
Dan, we have your husband down here in security. He's lost.
We have an adult man here at the front desk
with children and a job and a career. He's here and he's crying.
I'm more of a landmark person than actual names of streets.
Okay.
Like Rochelle remembers all the names of roads, streets, and all that stuff, and sense of direction is really good in that regard because she's like, okay, this will take me to that one, and this will take me to that one.
Yeah.
But I'm more like hang a right at the at the Wawa.
Right.
Yeah, you go down by the Wawa. It's a street by the Wawa, right? Yeah.
I'll be driving along, and so if I'm, oh, okay, I know this place, and I'll say that to my wife when we're driving together. Okay, I got it. But GPS is pretty much eliminated. A tremendous amount of that.
When we come off the Blue Route to Westchester Pike to get home, I always go left at the light, and my wife always goes right. And every time I go left, she's like, you still go this? I'm like, this is the best way to go. She's like, no, the other way is the best way to go.
I want a divorce.
Yeah, right? But, I think she has a better sense of what is the shortest distance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Right.
And I'm more of like, well, that one has more stop signs. So I'd rather go this way where.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are other factors to keep in mind when going somewhere, like stop signs, intersections, things like that.
So, Casey, you're more concerned about the time, whereas Diane's more concerned about the mileage.
The
Probably.
distance.
Okay, yeah.
Probably. But, there's another way that I go home, and I would always go right, and she's like, why don't you go straight? And I'm like, well, because then you have to go around, and she's like, no, it's shorter to go this way.
Shut up, woman.
Well, sure enough, I ended up doing the distance, and the distance from, point A to point B is actually the same exact if I were to go right or if I were to go straight at this. But going straight is actually shorter because there's less traffic lights. So she wins
Time-wise, obviously not distance-wise.
But
not
distance-wise, we were both right.
Wormhole-wise, right, yeah.
By the way, in this study, the city with the worst sense of direction in Pennsylvania is Pittsburgh.
Huh.
Stupid bastards.
Followed by Reading, Erie, Scranton, Allentown, then Ben Salem.
Ben Salem?
Yeah,
What? That's so
Bucksco. And then you have Philadelphia, right under Ben Salem, followed by Abington, Upper Darby, and Lower Marion.
There are points of Montgomery County where I'm like, where the hell am I? You know what I mean? Because Montgomery County is so big.
Well, I get that way in Bucks County in some areas.
Actually, is Bucks bigger than
I'm just not in Bucks County that often.
Well, you also, when you are out in rural areas where there's, so if you talk about a landmark, a lot of times a tree won't serve the purpose of a landmark, So I find that places that are like farms and countries and countryside sort of stuff, that can sort of blur together, and that they become a little more difficult. In fact, it was coming back from the Cardboard Classic, the blizzard year, Preston, where I was. First off, it was whiteout conditions. Yeah. Second off, it was just tons of flat farm, and I was literally driving my car as if it was a large video game, using the GPS and just. Right. The arrows seemed to be on the street, and that's how I drove back.
But you know what's funny, Steve, is that particular day when I was driving home, They were like, you can't get on the Northeast Extension.
There's
It's
been an
closed.
accident, yeah.
So I had to get on Route 80, okay?
Yeah.
And then I had to get off of 80 because I couldn't go any further.
Yeah.
And when I got off of 80, I was on the other side of Jack Frost. I'm like, how did this happen? I'm like, I just drove like 20 miles. How am I back where I started?
Miss Foster, we have your husband here. He's crying.
You looped around.
I looped around and I had no idea I was looping around.
So
Hang on.
Bucks County is bigger than Montgomery County, and Chester County is bigger than both of them.
What?
Wow, I didn't know Chester County was
Except
bigger.
Montgomery County has a larger population than Bucks County.
Right, I meant
Okay.
by square mileage.
Okay. Hang on a second. I want to go to Lori here. Hi, Lori. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Lori?
How you doing?
Wonderful.
You guys talking about sense of direction and couldn't remember the time that I got lost in the King of Prussia Mall for 45 minutes.
In the mall.
45 minutes.
In the mall. I went in at Morkin's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Had to run in to return something. Couldn't find my way out. I typed in Morgan's in my GPS, and I walked around the mall 2 or 3 times. I finally went outside and started walking around the mall. It was raining, and I saw a security guard, so I had to get in her car, and she drove me around.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
That's when you just
I called my husband in tears, and he just laughed at me.
It can happen. All right.
She said it was the second time it had happened on her shift. So
There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, had you never been to the mall before, Lori?
I've been to the mall a million times.
Okay. That's worse. Thank you, Lori.
That's like the time my sister-in-law, she thought her car got stolen at the Cherry Hill Mall, but she just walked out on the other side. Like she walked in on one side and
Dude,
then
that
exited
happens
the
all
other
the
side,
time.
and
Who was
Gina Crash.
Gina
She
Crash.
did that at the festival, and she called me, and she was pissed at me because I didn't come out and help her. I was like, I'm watching Coldplay, right? Like,
She got totally disoriented. Yeah.
The Frank S. Farley Service Plaza. If you go out the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, you're like, you're heading back to Philly. Yeah, you're on the wrong side of the
But I mean,
expressway.
when you walk out of there, like if you have to, if you walk out the opposite doors, it looks exactly the same. You're just going the wrong direction.
Why are there Eskimos here?
All right. So anyhow, we have decent sense of direction in our area, according to this particular study. All right. Let me go somewhere else. I have a couple of food-oriented stories.
Whoa, are we blurring the lines between City Beat and the Connoisseur?
We are a little bit, but this one I wanted to mention because there's a couple of locations that you'll be able to access this here in our area. Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams and Warner Brothers have announced the upcoming release of a limited edition ice cream flavor inspired by Ted Lasso. And it sounds really good, by the way. In celebration of the third season of the Biscuits with the Boss ice cream flavor.
Has anyone? We talked about this, and
I made them.
You did. That's right.
I did. And they're really, really good. Now,
This is, by the way, if you don't watch the show, Ted Lasso makes these biscuits all the time for his boss.
Cookies.
And yeah, essentially that's all they are. Just
The
cookies.
shortbread cookies.
Yeah.
But I need to do I probably should have done a second run at it, like right after I finished that first run, because I feel like the second run would have been better. But the first one was pretty good.
So this will drop on March 2nd. So it's coming up tomorrow. Jenny's has morphed the buttery observance into a frozen treat. The flavor features shortbread cookie crumbles folded into a salted butter sweet cream ice cream.
Wait, where do I get this?
This sounds fantastic.
It does sound good.
I will tell you in just a moment.
Yes.
Cool your jets.
So it makes for a creamy and crumbly indulgence. And the limited time only flavor will be widely available online at jennys.com/Ted and in scoop shops nationwide beginning tomorrow. And you can find them. They have Jenny Splendid ice cream locations in Philadelphia. There's one in Fishtown.
Okay.
1322 Frankfurt Avenue. And there's a Rittenhouse Square location. 1901
You going to do it?
Chestnut Street. Or you can check the grocery locator on jennys.com, and you might be able to find them in a store near you. I've never had Jenny's.
No, I didn't even hear of Jenny's until right now.
Not familiar.
Yeah.
Marissa is nodding in approval. You know what? Rodney said your microphone. He worked on it. Let's try this out.
How's it sound?
Stop it.
No, how does it sound? Sound better?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Still needs a little more tweaking, but
All right.
yeah.
Well, Jenny's is one of those places. There's one, like I said, in Rittenhouse Square you walk by that pumps the cone smell out onto the street. So every
Those
time
evil a-holes.
you walk
Very
by
seductive.
19th and Chestnut, I literally sometimes cross the street. Which there's a Target there, Kathy. So it's like the worst of both on both sides.
So yeah, the two locations, Fishtown and Rittenhouse Square.
If you can have a Jenny's, you should have a Forrest Gump's, right?
Yeah,
ice cream place.
Gumps.
Yeah, and then, but it serves bacon.
Yeah. Instead of ice cream, a Gump's ice cream place.
Yeah, I was
Serves
like
bacon.
shrimp ice cream.
No. So anyhow, I've got to try this.
Oh my
I
God!
have
Yeah.
to try this. That sounds fantastic. All right, so another food story from City Beat because it's in and around our area. Apparently, so some Home Depot locations have a Rocco's Italian sausages and cheese steak shop.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one on Columbus Boulevard.
Wait, has it inside?
They're outside.
Yeah, it's attached to the front of the
Yeah.
store.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I've
it's
never seen that.
Rocco's Italian Sausages and Cheesesteak Shop. And up until recently, Rocco's could only be found at stores in Philadelphia and Queens, New York. But with its latest opening in Souderton this month.
Well, there you go, Mr. Man.
Very close by me. Rocco's finally made its way into Bucks County. And it's if that's not close enough for you, there are more on the way. And they're supposedly really good.
So these are
Yeah, I went there a couple of Camp Out for Hungers ago. I had to go to Home Depot, and I was like, okay, I keep hearing about this place. And it's, when you smell, I was going to say here. When you
hear that food.
When you smell the peppers and onions, I mean, that's the most enticing smell. When
You can hear peppers and onions.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You can hear that sizzling.
When they brought it out like a fajita style?
Yes.
That's a good food
That's a good
sound.
point. But more so the smell. When you smell it, you're like, it's almost like a Looney Tunes commercial where you just kind of like float.
Yeah, and your eyes. Let me ask you. So, what is their signature sandwich?
Probably like sausage, peppers, and onions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the shop was originally founded by Richard Rocco Guardino, who opened his first Rocco's in Queens at Home Depot in Long Island City in 2000 before adding a second location.
Come on by if you're picking up some hardware. Drop off and get a sandwich.
And in College Point, Rocco.
She's walking out of the Home Depot. You got your hammer, you got your nails, you can do a project. I'm hungry. Here I am.
Rocco's found
dumbass.
It's
Whoa. It's a little abrasive.
You dumbass. So
the thing's only been sitting here for a goddamn decade.
Rocco's found its way to Philadelphia in 2006. Starting with 2 shops on Columbus Boulevard and Castor Avenue.
How about that?
Thanks to a partnership with Guardino's former colleague, Dan Winter. And his popularity quickly took off with the businesses picking up speed a couple of years, or with the business picking up speed a couple of years ago as Winter and his 2 sons.
The food looks good.
Anthony and Dan Jr., who both grew up helping out and eventually working at the shop, starting offering licensing agreements to others they've entrusted to carry out the brand.
I'm still thinking about food sounds.
Yeah.
Are there any better sounds than fajitas being brought out from
like Applebee's
or
or Chili's?
like a real Mexican
Well,
restaurant.
like a hibachi or something like that, maybe.
That's a sight and a sound.
Yeah.
I think of those as
sound alone.
Sound alone. Like
Popping
you hear
popcorn?
those fajitas coming.
Pudding.
Yeah. Pudding doesn't have a sound.
Do you have tapioca pudding? Or how about the Ted Lasso ice cream?
That's a sound. That's
Popcorn has a sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love popcorn.
That's a good sound.
I've got a comment and then a question for you, Preston. My
And then a
comment
limerick.
is I have never in my life ordered fajitas because the sound of that makes me want to leave the restaurant.
Really?
But
The sound of fajitas?
because I am going to smell like it.
Oh, okay.
The smell is going to get in my hair, my clothes, my jacket. Correct.
Man,
and
I
I'm
would
gonna have
lick
to
you if you smelled like
wash
that.
everything.
All right.
Now Nick's gonna lick me.
How about when they're chopping up cheesesteaks on the grill?
Love that.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding, ding.
Is that?
So good.
That's a sound.
I
Yeah.
know, but that's not the sound of the food.
Well, you can hear it sizzling and
Yeah.
cooking. You know, they usually throw some water on there. To
I
kind of
don't know
season
why
it.
Someone's
Right.
suggesting on this article that Connor has up here, Preston, the crack of creme brulee.
But that is okay. So by Casey's definition, that's using a utensil.
I know, and I'm retracting that. I don't know why I'm trying to disqualify your sounds. And I press.
Yeah, but it's only sizzling because it's on the plate, on the hot plate.
That's a good point.
Well, I don't know. Let's throw it in the air and see if you can hear it sizzling in the air.
So first he ignores that Tim Daly was on the show, and then he ignores my food sounds.
Oh, yeah. There has to be an instrument in which the sound is made.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not gonna just make a sound on its own.
Right.
That would defy the laws of physics.
So Connor pulled up this article, and this is what we're referencing: sizzling bacon.
Yeah.
Can't beat that. Or sizzling steak when you throw it on the grill.
That is such an overpowering attraction to that smell of bacon. It's just so visceral.
All right, so I guess I'll go through all these. Pouring cold beer into a glass.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good one.
Do we have the sound from? It's a good sound.
It's a great sound.
I love it in Django Unchained.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yep, I love that.
Oh, he
love that
scrapes it.
sound.
Uh-huh.
He scrapes the top of the glass, right?
Ding, ding.
That's a good sound.
Clicks it on the sign. Next. Stirring macaroni and cheese or noodles.
That just sounds like sex.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I had Wawa's pre-made mac and cheese last night.
What'd you think?
It's really good. There's a
Did you get the brisket?
No, I got the buffalo chicken one. What I like to do is I add cherry tomatoes and a little bit of spinach for health.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's healthy now.
Healthy mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
It's
put
healthy
it
now. I put gum in it.
And you put the spinach is healthy.
By the way, all mac and cheese at a restaurant is
healthy.
pre-made.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But it's
Wait, what do you mean?
prepackaged. What's
Prepackaged.
You order it, it's cooked.
You heat it at home? Is that what you do?
Yeah, you heat it at home. So you put it in the microwave
Oh.
with the cherry tomatoes, spinach on top. Spinach on top of the mac and cheese from Wawa also prevents the mac and cheese from exploding around in the
your
microwave.
face.
We put a lot of thought into it.
Corner Bakery, I think, has the best mac and cheese. It comes with little tomato, like diced tomatoes, bacon bits, and breadcrumbs. It is.
Does it sound good?
It sounds amazing.
Okay.
He has the full album.
So somebody texted in, Kathy says you need to order alambre, which is fajitas without the sizzle and spectacle.
Kathy.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Alambre. I'm not familiar with that.
That might be it.
Okay.
Wait, but my question was back to the Home Depot story.
Oh, yeah.
You said Bucks County. What was there one in Bucks County too?
I think that part of Souderton. So Bucks County or Souderton sits on County Line Road.
Okay, so they were referring to the Souderton location as Bucks County.
Yeah, here's a little trivia about Souderton Area High School, and you know who told me this was Jamie Moyer, believe it or not.
Former pitcher of the Phillies.
Former pitcher of the Phillies. So he was a graduate of Souderton Area High School, and where the old high school was, it was the only school where the school itself was in one county, but the playing fields were in another
No
county.
kidding.
So the school was in Montgomery County. And across the street, I mean, literally, there was a little bridge. It went across the street from the school. It went over County Line Road.
Wow.
And the baseball fields were in Bucks County.
Wow.
Well, and I don't know if it was this school or a different one, but the students are from both counties. So during COVID, you had Bucks and Montgomery County that sort of had differing views during COVID. And so they said it was like a nightmare at the schools. I'm not sure if it was this one or a different one. But.
I don't know. So anyway, yes, back to the story, Rocco's. And construction is going to begin soon on a shop outside of Oxford Valley Home Depot in Fairless Hills. And they're targeted with a opening date in early May for that. And the newest Rocco's opened up last week outside of Hilltown Home Depot.
I think I might have to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Steve, on what I was getting at that Home Depot, if you recall.
Was it a ceiling fan?
No, because it was for Camp Out for Hunger. I was getting the trash cans that we slammed Sarah into the car.
Oh, yeah.
We had fire hoses shooting trash cans on wheels.
Rolling.
One got away from us.
We sent Sarah at about 70 miles an hour. Oh, that just hauled ass.
Into the side of I think it was in an MMR vehicle.
It was very cool, though.
Well, the best part is she had no idea it was even coming.
Yeah.
So according to this article, the small shop, as small as it is, there's actually a number of choices, and it's impressive. But here are a couple of standouts from this article. You have Rocco's Special. It says the perfect sandwich for those who can't decide. It comes with both sausage and steak served together on a roll. So it's sausage and cheesesteak together. The Gavone, which is a breakfast sandwich piled high with steak, bacon, eggs, potatoes, onions, peppers, topped with their homemade hot sauce. Nick, you can put some spinach on there, make it healthy if you want to.
Put some medicine on it.
And then the Portabella Parmigiana, one of their popular vegetarian options, served on a long roll with your choice of toppings. So that's some of what you can get at Rocco's.
At a Home Depot of all places.
Yeah.
Who knew?
We were watching the footage of Sarah getting smashed into that. Oh, God, I felt so bad because I just, I'll never forget her head popping out of the top of the trash can. Like, what the freak was that?
Yeah, they did pick up velocity, didn't they? Yeah, so they were rolling
I think
across
you
the
might
parking.
even see me running after it, like, no!
It's amazing we've lasted this long.
Good times.
Without, well, pitch was close. We almost killed Pitchuation. That's for sure.
Probably the closest.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm done.
That's it?
Yep,
Oh,
that's it for
man.
City Beat. Sorry, we're going to take a break.
Wow.
We're going to come back in a moment, and we will get to some bizarre file stories for you. Don't forget, we have a secret text word today. The opportunity for you to win a chance to get a pair of tickets for the second City Swipes Right show, which is going to be coming to the Kimmel Cultural Campus on Friday, March 10th at 8 p.m. So text word secret to 39333. We'll be back in a sec.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, the track follows Blame It On My Youth and Generational Divide is the third offering from the trio's new LP, which is tentatively titled Bajmir. Somebody wrote, they texted this, and it says their album is Rim Job Backwards. I thought that was the name of Rim Job Backwards was the name of the album. No, Bajmir is Rim Job spelled backwards.
Oh, what? There we go. Thank you. We would not have known that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Bajmir. Or you can name an album Rim Job Backwards.
Would it sound that way if you took?
I doubt it.
Reversed it. I don't think it would.
Here, let's all say
try
it.
it?
We could.
Yes.
So just say clearly, say rim job.
Can you record it and play backwards or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right.
Okay,
Let's,
so Casey will
this.
record that.
All right.
Reverse it, and we'll see what that sounds like. All right, okay, say when.
Go ahead. When?
Rim Job.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir.
Yeah.
Bajmir. There's a little in there, but Bajmir. Now let me say that forward.
And see if it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Bajmir.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that. See if it comes back as
Try
Rim.
that. Go here and.
Rim Job.
We're scientists.
Rim Job.
Do it again. Do it again. You can even do it better.
Rim Job. Rim Job.
We are ready to transmit.
Bajmir. Rim Job.
The aliens are about to transmit a message. Rim job.
Play it again, Casey. Rim Job.
Wow.
You really got that in there.
Oh, I love our
And now the envoy from Neptune is about to speak.
Rim Job.
Rim job.
Rim Job.
Rim job.
It's
like you've just met in the jungle. Rim job.
Rim Job.
You.
That's my favorite one.
Rim job.
It's a
Rim
greeting.
Job.
Rim job. You like rim job.
Rim.
Rim job.
Rim.
Why did that?
I don't know why it's stopping.
Me? Neither.
Rim Job.
Rouge, you tongue to cream butthole.
At the end, I go, Rim Job.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Rim
enough-
Job.
That's the natural gagging.
Rim Job. Job. Someone wants to point out that we've won awards.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
I know.
True.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they can't rescind them.
Yeah.
What?
Do you get the spicy chicken at the Chick-fil-A, or do you just get the regular chicken?
I have gotten the spicy before.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like there.
Oh, dear God. I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
Are you coming out right now?
I'm coming out.
I mean, Pride Month ended
Mom,
yesterday.
can we
Did it end
talk?
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
June.
June.
All right, anyway,
Okay,
I was
what-
just joking.
I'm
Go
a
ahead.
spicy chicken guy.
Oh no! But I just wanted to let this be known that Wendy's has,
Well, I'll always love you.
has the spicy chicken nuggets are back. So
That was, yes, I
yeah.
did see that announcement they made. So you wanted to get the word out?
I just want to get the word out. Want to
All
let
right.
people know it's usually like $6 for a buck.
Yeah.
I heard.
This morning on the Preston and Steve Show, Casey Boy reveals something concerning fast food and an extended offer. We go now to Jim Iglesiewski outside of the Pentagon. Jim, did Casey in fact confirm there was an extended offer? That's correct, Tom. Thank you, Jim.
That's all you had to say. Yes, it's correct. It's confirmed.
I think I'm just a spicy chicken guy. Like,
just a spicy chicken guy. Spicy chicken guy. Oh no! Dear God, I'm just a spicy chicken guy.
I just want to get the word out. Want to let people know.
Okay, so I want to talk about the movies that are opening this weekend. Where'd Casey go?
Do you think he had to make a boom boom?
I'm not really sure. There's a lot of things that are off about him today. So
is it even Casey?
It might not be Casey. Did we check?
Maybe it's
no,
the hair.
we usually take a urine specimen every morning.
So we usually have a little song that we play. Marissa, I don't know if you can find that or not. It's the 20th Century Fox with the recorder.
Yeah.
Maybe it's under. I don't know what it's even labeled under.
I'll admit this. I'm a little scared.
We have kazoos.
You could do that, Kath.
You're a master of it, Kathy.
Yeah.
Play it for us.
I got mine, Kath.
All right, I have my egg.
You know how it goes?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you the.
Okay, ready?
Wait, hold it for me. Yeah. Okay.
Ray, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You were way better than me.
Thank you. I went for it.
That was sensational.
A little lightheaded.
You know what I realized?
You have a recorder.
I have a recorder right here.
You want to do it again?
You okay?
I'm better.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't feel good, guys.
Right over here is Jason Kelce. How you doing so far? You enjoying the off season?
Yeah, it's good. You know, we just started up again about 2 weeks ago. This week was the first week on the field with the coaches. So we're kind of back at it.
Kind of seems like there's really not any sort of real off season these days. The nature of the beast is that you just keep at it.
Yeah, especially when you're playing playoff games and stuff like that. It shortens down. We're probably 7 months out of the year working, but that's. Pretty intensive work for 7 months. But
Jason, is it a case of, and is it sort of better that way because you gotta do more getting up to speed?
Yeah.
If you take too much time off, and if you kind of sort of keep at it, you're always just a tick off, fighting weight, basically?
Yeah, I think most guys lift year-round pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll take a few weeks off here or there, go on vacation, whatnot, but most guys are always staying in shape. This time of the year is especially important for all the new free agents that we got in, all the guys that are trying to learn the terminology, the new playbooks.
Well, your brother's like one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
He does a great commercial, by the way.
He's tackling an eagle in that commercial, or have we talked about this yet?
He's dancing in the commercials, the commercial that I'm talking about, where he's sort of fantasizing and he's doing like an end zone dance, and then you realize that he's like standing in the middle of a store or whatever. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because you guys are both at the top of your games and the top of your positions, who's the actual better athlete?
Oh, Travis is not even close.
Oh, really?
Not even close. You got to call him as you see him. Yeah. Honestly, he's living it out in fantasy, and you're doing it.
Yeah. No, he's a special athlete, and he always has been. Even no matter what it was, basketball, baseball. He's just had a knack for sports. I think that I've always been big, fast, and strong, but the type of athlete he is, how fluid he is, the way he moves, his ability to change direction and things like that, and spatial awareness. He's a tremendous athlete.
Jason, you and Nick share something in common. You guys have both climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
You climbed Mount Kili?
I did. Yeah, I did it for charity as well. The organization you guys did it with was Chris Long and Bo Allen. And the Water Boys is a fantastic organization. And, when I did it, I thought I never want to do it again. Because
same here.
Yeah, it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. But now it's been several years, and I want to do it again. And part of the reason why I want to do it again is because of the work you guys have done for such a great organization. And I love philanthropic climbs at all. And to do it and make it that challenging is really impressive. Tell me your impressions of the climb itself.
Same as you.
Yeah.
The moment I started going up that last night, about halfway through, I was like, "What in the hell am I doing?"
Yeah.
You're in the pitch black. You're going. What route did you go up?
We did Umboy.
Umboy.
Yeah.
We did Wrong Guy, which is the only one from like the north side.
Yes.
It's the shortest, but I think
Is it steeper?
I think it's at the top. It's a little bit steeper.
Because everyone says it's like Nick was saying that basically as climbs go, it's a gradual. But there was one route that at the end, it's probably what you did, that it becomes a lot steeper.
The summit is the hardest part of the climb.
Exactly.
And you're already tapped out because you've done a climb for several days in a row, and then it becomes the steepest part at the highest elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I don't know if it's any steeper. I shouldn't say that, but you do have to. Once you get to the top, you don't go right to the peak, so you have to like walk around to the other side of the peak, which is a little bit more of like another 2 hours once you're already at the top, which is kind of like, well, why in the heck am I?
Are you walking?
I should already be here.
Is that so you summit like at daybreak?
So you get up at midnight the night before. That's what we did on this route. You have a headlamp on. It's the blackest of black you've ever seen. I mean, there's not a light
on a mountain.
Yeah, and you just start making your ascent. And at this point, it's a little bit too steep for guys like me to go straight up. I mean, the porters and guys who do this, I mean, it's nothing to them. They're walking up and down like it's just another day of work.
Bastards.
But, for us, we go like kind of like sideways in these skipbacks, and it took us 7.5 hours to get to Gilman's Point, which was the top of the Wrong Guy route, and then we had to walk another 2.5 hours to the peak. So I got to the peak around 10 a.m.
Who else climbed with you guys?
So it was me, Chris, Bo, and Haloti Nada were the 4 guys that have played with the Eagles.
And Haloti?
They said Haloti and Bo were the 2 of these guys I've ever seen climb.
Friday, March 10th, it is called The Second City Swipes Right, an incomplete guide to the ultimate date night. Those tickets are on sale now, by the way, but you can win them, potentially. Text word secret 39333. We'll get that winner in a little while. We're going to take a look at traffic now, see what's happening, Kath. What you got?
On the Schuylkill Expressway westbound, you are still jammed from Passyunk to the Vine Expressway, but the accident that was there is now cleared. Also 95 southbound, Slow Academy to the Betsy Ross Bridge, that accident gone. Southbound also slowing from Broad to Bartram Avenue. That's construction in the left lane. 42 west between Route 130 and the Walt Whitman Bridge, left lane closed with construction. And then across the Ben Franklin Bridge westbound, we've got the 2 right lanes closed with construction. You're still the toll plaza to 5th Street. This traffic report brought to you by Wawa. Wake up and smell the sizzly. 2 for $5. Great morning start at Wawa. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, let's do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by J-Dog Junk Removal and J-Dog Carpet Cleaning. Got junk, want it gone? Got floors, want them clean? Well, you call J-Dog Junk Removal and J-Dog Carpet Cleaning. Veteran owned and operated. Started right here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Call 844-GET-JDOG or visit jdog.com. Police say a man who had a suspected pipe bomb drove from Alabama to Georgia to call in the threat at a busy Marietta shopping center. On Monday, police identified the subject as Robert Devlin of Lincoln, Alabama. And Saturday, police received a 911 call about a bomb in the back of a pickup truck parked near the shopping plaza. Officers identified Devlin as the truck owner and learned that he was the one that called 911 on himself. Police determined that the threat was serious. They took him into custody, evacuated the shopping center. Police removed a device that looked like a pipe bomb. Bomb technicians opened the suspected bomb hours later. While it did contain some explosive elements, it lacked other components necessary for it to be considered a fully assembled explosive device. It is unclear why Devlin traveled over 115 miles to Marietta or why he called 911 on himself. He faces felony charges of false public alarm and misdemeanor charges of false report of a crime and having a hoax device.
Do you think there's any chance they'll make him testify against himself in court?
It's possible. Yeah, that would. And
that's me.
I'd love to be there for that. All right, this is pretty wild. An 800-year-old mummy has been seized by police after a man boasted about it to pals. Police spotted 3 men.
That's what I got.
They spotted. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
They spotted 3 men drinking booze at a nature spot. Upon closer inspection, they discovered that the preserved remains of a man were inside of a cooler backpack. The box belonged to one of the men, Julio Cesar, who worked as a courier, and he said the mummy had belonged to his family for decades. Police discovered them at the Montaro Viewpoint in the Peruvian city of Puno. The Ministry of Culture said the mummy is an important pre-Hispanic cultural asset. Cesar said that he removed the mummy from his parents' house for his friends to see. He said his family bought it for $600 about 40 years ago.
Oh, my parents would have beat my ass if I took our mummy.
He said, this mummy belongs to my dad. We're talking about 1980 or 90 when it was still a lot of money. The delivery man's relatives arrived at the scene to explain that the mummy belonged to them. They added that they tried in the past to sell it to a museum, but never received a firm offer.
It's just a bad mummy.
However,
it's a cheap-ass mummy.
The authorities seized the relic and are deciding what to do with it next. It is unclear if the family intends to challenge the decision or seek compensation from the authorities.
It's a very unimpressive mummy, clearly.
Yep. Long Island mom Jocelyn Martin wouldn't wait to watch her daughters, Delaney and Drew, or couldn't wait to watch her daughters, Delaney and Drew, who were 9 and 5 years old, react to a surprise trip to Disney World. Martin had been planning the vacation for months. She said, I thought they would see the suitcases and just lose their minds. But they did lose their minds in a different way. In footage shared on TikTok, an unsuspecting Delaney and Drew are seen coming home from school. And when Martin announces that they're going to Disney World, Delaney looks absolutely horrified and starts to cry. And then Drew began to sob as well, and they were not happy tears. And according to the mom, she said they're both terrified of heights. And that's what set them off because of the rides.
Right, the rides, they're flying, right?
And she says, I think it was like, I want to go to Disney, but not on an airplane. That was mainly it, yeah. And they were also feeding off of each other, so they were afraid to fly.
I remember the time you told your, right? Didn't you tell your kids here?
Yep, and
nothing.
They didn't react at all. I mean, like we were leaving straight from work from here to go to Disney World. It was a total surprise to them.
We recorded it.
We recorded it. And nothing.
That's
I'm like,
good. I hate you.
I hate you.
I should have worn a condom.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
So sometimes you don't get the reaction that you're planning on. Yep. The Slidell Police Department says an ice cream truck driver had more than push-ups and chip witches on board. Police say they believe the driver, 42-year-old Tamisha Morin, was selling methamphetamine out of the ice cream truck.
I love those meth pops.
Police say they caught wind of the vehicle with expired tags and no brake lights. And detectives pulled the truck over and found more than ice cream. Detectives located melted ice cream in the freezer, methamphetamine, and other drug paraphernalia. The owner, 42-year-old Tamisha Morin, was placed under arrest for possession of narcotics, an outstanding warrant, and multiple traffic violations as well.
Kathy, wouldn't your mother draw the blinds when the meth man was driving around town?
Police do not believe any children were exposed to Morin's alleged meth trade, as the ice cream truck has been out of commission for several months. Police arrested a man suspected of robbing an Ohio grocery store after his alleged getaway car was trapped at a car wash.
Whoa.
The manager at a Giant Eagle grocery store spotted a man leaving with a shopping cart full of about $500 worth of unpaid merchandise last Saturday. She reported the incident to store security, who saw the suspect attempt to get into a potential getaway car. However, officials said the driver of the possible getaway car had gone to a nearby car wash while the suspect was in the Giant Eagle, and the car was trapped between several others and couldn't move. So I think the car was in line for the car wash.
I love that.
And they couldn't move.
I'm getting my car cleaned.
Police arrested the suspect, who had an outstanding warrant, and charged him with theft. They also arrested the driver of the possible getaway car, who had an outstanding warrant too. And then we'll do one more story, and we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. A 33-year-old man was pulled over while going 156 miles per hour in Lansing, Michigan on Sunday, according to the state police. The man was driving a 2020 Dodge Charger and was stopped on I-496 East. The man was driving on a restricted license with conditions on when he was allowed to drive, and the speed limit where the man was stopped was 70 miles an hour. So he was going 86 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, on a 70-mile-an-hour road.
That's a little excessive.
Yeah, he's probably going to get a couple of points on his license.
I think so.
Police say the driver was issued a citation for reckless driving and violating the conditions of their restricted license, both misdemeanors.
Not unless the restricted license mentions specifically that he can drive 150 miles an hour.
Maybe. And that is what I have in the bizarre file. All right, let's do this. We have a secret text word, and we need a number caller. So, Kathy, who's it going to be?
Caller 6.
All right, take the 6th caller, 215-263 WMMR. If you know the secret text word and you're that number caller, you can win, and we'll get a random texter as well while we take a break. Coming back in a moment. Lesson, question, trash, music news up next.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR. What's going on?
As we're sitting here talking to you, the texts are coming in, and I wanted to find out what you hear most. Do you hear hungry dogs? What is it? Hungry dogs run faster?
Yeah.
Okay. Or if I don't eat breakfast, I'm pissed off.
Yep.
Or from that speech, there were several highlights. Do people just yell those out to you sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you hear most?
I was actually surprised. Nobody this morning asked if I ate breakfast. And if I said or not.
You've heard it enough,
yeah,
man.
Thank you.
You know,
I probably hear hungry dogs. I probably hear hungry dogs run faster than those. And that's not just from. I mean, that's still a mantra of Jeff Stoutland. I mean, he was just grilling some of the younger guys with it today, and or not today, but yesterday about, we got some rookies coming in here. We got some new free agent signings. You want to talk about, hungry dogs, and he's trying to motivate people with it. I mean, it's something that, was such a big part, I think, with the team and the city, and it kind of all correlated together that I probably hear that one the most.
That's Jason Kelce. Yeah! I did notice something else.
More from the noticer. He notices so you don't have to.
I noticed
across an empty field. Down the dark alley.
I do notice that I will use digital assistants from time to time. The two that I use are
your fingers?
No.
And your toes.
Not those digital assistants.
I'm sorry.
Meaning Siri and Alexa. Those are the two that I use from time to time. Now,
okay.
Alexa I mainly use for like a timer when I'm cooking, or music to listen to real quick, or something like that.
In your kitchen, do you have the show, the Alexa show? Which has the screen on it?
Oh. No.
It's actually very cool, especially if you're doing recipes or things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there was a new study that finds which is the smartest of them all, and in what order. This is Loop Ventures. They did a study that had researchers ask the 4 digital assistants 800 questions, and they found all assistants were great at understanding the questions. And they have determined who actually answered the most questions.
I have them all, or have had them all. This sounds like I'm bragging about sexual conquest. But, yeah, so go through this. I'm curious to see if it lines up with what I experienced.
So they found that the smartest of them all is Google Assistant.
Okay, so that's what I learned, is that the ability to answer questions and questions contextually went to Google.
I can't stand when I ask Siri a question and she just gives me a bunch of websites to go to. I'm like, just give me.
Do not like that. However, though, Google Assistant will most often default to Wikipedia.
There are obviously silly, ridiculous things that you don't need it for, but you use it for anyway.
I still do, yeah.
What do you think for you is the most practical purpose for using any of these?
Well, honestly, for the when I'm sitting, for example, if I'm sitting and I'm setting up something for the media, I'm watching TV or whatever, and I'm looking down at something, or I need the lights on, or I'm turning lights on and off.
Okay.
Playing music, playing
I think that's
the radio,
what I would use it for.
playing. I walk into a room. I constantly use it for weather. I constantly use it. I'll get a quick news update.
Yep.
So I'm interfacing it with that. And if you look at if you find out on your app on your phone. It'll tell you your last 70 requests, and mine are always sort of the same thing.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, it records everything, so you can find out every single request that you've asked.
I am using them all the time throughout the day.
But you know what? Like, you're busy, Steve. I know somebody, Nick, who can probably come over to your place, who I think is in between gigs right now. Gary Lauer is not doing anything right now. His house is closed.
You know what? Honestly, you don't even need an echo. Just have Gary hands.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot out there.
Just have your own Gary.
I'll turn it on for you. Lights on.
All right.
Hey, Gary, lights on.
All right, 1 second. There you go. Gary, should I wear a sweater outside? I'll be right back. It's pretty chilly. Lauer.
Lauer.
Yeah, Lauer.
That's what it would be.
Yeah. Hey, Lauer.
Yeah, because Gary would be too common.
Hey, Lauer, play Allman Brothers. Lauer, switch to Skinnerd.
Hey, Lauer.
Yes. Switch to Killers. Somebody told me.
All right.
Hey, Lauer, play MMR.
Well, don't you have to kind of have like a bing bong prompt?
Yeah.
You know. Hey, Lauer.
Working.
Play Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts.
Summer Breeze.
I met a guy.
Bill parties hard.
I met a guy.
Let's do some heroin.
At our gig the other night, who is Bill's neighbor, and he told me you should hear Bill at church because Bill is a lector.
He's a lector, yes.
And so he speaks at church. Could you imagine being at church and you hear the other people that are kind of speaking like this, and Bill steps up to the microphone.
And then Jesus.
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah.
Said Peter, you'll be the third leg of the stool.
Yes.
The word of the Lord.
The Romans are the low-hanging fruit in this scenario. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
David actually slung some fruit instead of a rock.
Who had the roast beef?
But,
I give this resurrection an A+.
But listen, when in my short amount of time that I was going to a Catholic church, my wife is Catholic, and the priest initially spoke at such a level, and you guys know my hearing.
Oh, yeah.
I sat there. I'm like, what am I even doing here?
What is he saying?
What is the point of me being
Honestly?
here? I don't hear anything.
You would want a Bill Weston. You'd want someone
Sure.
who projects.
Yeah. It was just I'm like, the whole time I think this is a waste of time.
Listen to me, Preston.
We've got a priest at our parish that performs each Sunday.
Oh, it's about him then, huh?
He's very nice. He shakes everybody's hand afterwards, and he's a nice. But it's.
I'm going to improve
you want
on
a
the
show,
word of God.
and you want to be able to hear. You can come to my church, Preston.
Right.
Okay.
Does he do close-up magic as well?
No, but he's interactive.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kids get to come up on.
Watch me kick the cap off this block. Now, as Jesus kicked the Canaanites.
Steve, he kicks the bottle. He gives the cap off of the wine.
Snuffs out the candles.
That could work too.
Yes.
That could work too. I mean, who wouldn't find that entertaining?
Kicking a few Eucharists into the mouth. Watch this.
When I was on
Hold that Eucharist up about just so. You can travel down a street named after you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think a statue would be more awesome.
You like a statue?
I think
on top of a horse with a raised sword?
Yeah, with rearing
That's
up.
Preston Elliott.
Yeah, rearing up both of its front hooves in the air.
Yes.
I'd love to have that.
Wait a second.
He fought in the Civil War?
What does that mean? There's a difference.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing.
There was a long-standing myth, at least this is what I've read, that it would depend on if there was one leg raised or two, whether they died in battle or But
Oh, I heard completely other.
apparently that's.
I heard gay, not gay.
You're gay or not gay?
Gay general.
Gay general. Oh, she's on one foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this general was gay because both the horses' front hooves are up. I don't think that's accurate. No, trust me.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I read a book.
Yeah.
What does it mean when all four hooves are on the ground?
Polyamorous.
Yeah, exactly. They could anything.
Anything goes.
They're just looking for love. All right, so they're gonna fix that.
Bi-curious. if they're standing alongside the horse.
Thank you, Kathy. You know what's interesting is sometimes when just by knowing that something still exists, even though you don't really use something any longer, can be comforting. And then when you find out when that thing is going away, even though you haven't used it for a long time, it's very sad. Everything that rocks, right? 12 minutes after 10 o'clock. Beautiful, sunny, blue skies today. I have about 53 degrees. We're going to get some clouds a little bit later on by the time the afternoon hits. And then tomorrow's morning clouds, sunshine, even warmer. It's going to be really nice tomorrow. 63 degrees. Expecting some rain on Friday with a high of 44. Poconos, though, Montage Mountain expecting snow Friday afternoon, which means it should be nice and cool and perfect conditions.
Yeah, the live camera show, everything's rocking up there.
Yep, sledding should be good. There's a little bit of rain that's going to happen the day before, just heads up. So, I recommend boots just in case it is a tiny bit sloshy. You may want to wear clothing. Keep that in mind. Yeah, we're stoked for the whole thing. It's coming up on Friday. All right, we're going to look for secret text word winner. We were looking for caller number 6, so let's go to him. Hi, good morning. It is Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hi there. How you doing?
Awesome, Scott. Do you happen to know the secret text word, sir?
Yes, the secret text word is stage.
Stage is correct. Hang on just a second, bud. We're going to get your information. We're going to give you a pair of tickets to the Second City Swipes Right and Incomplete Guide to the Ultimate Date Night, presented by the Kimmel Cultural Campus, Friday, March 10th at 8 p.m. A cast of comedians covering everything that turns us on and off about love, dating, and relationships. By the way, tickets and information for both nights, March 10th and 11th, are available at kimmelculturalcampus.org. Also, our random texter. Oh, is this our friend Harry Wood? From Wynwood?
Nice.
We get a regular emailer, Harry Wood, from time to time. So I think that might be him.
Congratulations.
So congratulations, Harry. You're going to get to go to the event as well. So we'll make sure we take care of you.
You know who composed this music?
No.
Randy Newman.
No way.
Yeah, it's from The Natural, right?
It is, yeah. Well done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does movie scores outside of the fun little songs.
Yes.
And
a lot of it inspired by Aaron Copeland. The Natural is a great soundtrack.
It is.
One that I own. And Randy Newman composed it.
in fact, one of our is one of our winning beds one of the big from The
As a matter of
Natural?
fact, that's what I thought this was supposed to be.
Oh, pull that one up if you don't mind.
I will.
Because I love that. We take some movies some soundtrack audio for some of our winning music. And here we go.
Winning?
This was. Yeah. So this is a Randy Newman as well?
It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, I think this not an Oscar winner for him?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Steve, I know you're a huge fan of the Glory soundtrack. That's another one that I own, yeah. I mean, it's
masterpiece.
That's why I'm in such admiration of people like Michael Giacchino and James Horner and Randy Newman, because they can do it all. And it's all in their brain. John Williams, obviously.
All right. Today's lesson question prize, by the way. Excuse me. We have a pair of tickets to see Kevin James, the Irregardless Tour, Friday, June 16th. Hang on, do you
have to make?
No, I don't have to. I don't have to make. I got something stuck in my throat.
Okay, I just thought it was backing up.
Okay. Definitively answer this. Was the actor Tim Daly ever in our studio? 215-263-WMMR.
That's based on fact.
Was the actor Tim Daly ever on our show in studio, at the studio, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're asking.
Yeah.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you can figure that out. And we'll do the, by the way, it's just a yes or no question, by the way.
Yeah, making it easy.
All right, we'll do the trash while you call in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let us get some stories. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, CNN morning host Don Lemon desperately fighting to maintain his job after suggesting that women are past their prime after the age of 40. Lemon made matters worse in an apology posted to Instagram in which he wrote, "Women age like fine bottles of wine, covered in dust and living in the cellar." According to the Daily Mail, Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, will not be referred to as Queen Consort after Charles ascends to the throne and will be simply Queen Camilla. Apparently, for a brief period, she would have been called Princess Butterface. And finally, Michael B. Jordan is almost completely naked in new photos for Calvin Klein's Spring 2023 men's underwear line. Jordan says it's part of Klein's new campaign called, "Hey, look at the silhouette of my huge penis." That's your Hollywood Trash.
We're looking for definitive answer, and we need to know, was the actor Tim Daly ever in our studio? 215-263 WMMR. Let's go to our first caller. It's Brian. Hey, Brian. Gadzooks. All right, Brian, was he or was he not ever in our studio?
No.
That's incorrect.
Now let's see if someone else can get the answer.
Maybe somebody else can get the answer. We'll go to Ken. Hey, Ken.
Hello, Gadzooks.
Hello. All right, Ken, was the actor Tim Daly ever in our studio?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's correct. Hang on, Ken. Got tickets for Kevin James, the Irregardless Tour, Friday, June 16th at the Academy of Music. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. via KimmelCulturalCampus.org.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Good boy.
All right, music news. Where the hell is it?
I don't know. Ah, hell.
I got it.
Here it is.
Yep. Let's see. We're going to start with this. Foo Fighters are slowly expanding their upcoming 2023 tour with 5 new Northern American stops on the books. Closest they are going to get to us is Asbury Park, New Jersey. September 17th, they are playing the See Here Now Festival. I think you've been to that, Nick, haven't you?
I wanted to go a few years ago, but was not able to make it.
And this is on a Sunday night. It's like a couple of day affair. And they're on a Sunday night. I'm like, damn it. Why couldn't they be Saturday night?
Right.
What the
A little while before that, though, a few months before that, in May 26th, they'll be in Boston. At
Boston?
the Boston Calling Music Festival. So, I don't know. We'll see if they make their way here. We'll see if there's a reason for them to come around. Ozzy Osbourne is open to touring again. Yeah, he addressed reports that his touring career was over due to his health issues. Ozzy canceled several 2022 tour dates.
I thought he was basically saying that's it. He wouldn't tour.
Yeah, he said that he would play one-off shows here and there, but
change my mind.
he said, so if I can ever get back to where I can tour again, fine. But right now, if you said to me, can you go on the road in a month? I couldn't say yes. I mean, if I could tour, I'd tour, but right now I can't tour. I can't book tours because right now I don't think that I can pull them off. He added that the media exaggerated the original story, saying, "This effing press drives you nuts." I mean, I looked in the magazine. Ozzy's on his last legs. I'm effing not dying, he said.
Okay.
But he was the one that said he could play one-off shows and not tour and go on the road again.
But now he's back to touring.
Whatever, man. Travis Barker is having surgery on his hand today. The Blink-182 drummer shared a clip to his Instagram story showing him as he preps for the procedure. He could be heard saying that the examination of his wounded finger is painful in the video, and it looks gnarly.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's his ring finger, I believe, on his left hand. And Steve, it looks not just swollen. It looks like there's a tumor in there or something like that. It says the knuckle looks gigantic. And I was telling Marissa, that's the ring finger is an important finger when it comes to drumming. Yeah. So, pinky, you could get away with a little bit more, but the ring finger's got a lot of action.
Well, that looks horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like his finger has a bicep.
Yep. So Barker announced early in February that he tore a ligament in his finger while rehearsing for the band's upcoming tour. So hopefully...
He says that finger is Kourtney's favorite.
That's a weird one to be your favorite.
Yeah, I thought it'd be the middle one, but...
Yeah, all right. Metallica has taken to social media to tease their new song, If Darkness Had a Sun. The track, which will officially be released today, was debuted as a TikTok video with the band all performing remotely and playing a portion of the tune. I think this might be the instrumental one that we had.
Yes. All right. Is it Sun, S-U-N, or S-O-N?
S-O-N.
Oh.
Yep. You think it'd be like a little play on words if darkness had a sun?
It should be over from yesterday.
I think we have it, Case, if we want to hear a little bit of it.
Was, teased on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yep, here we
All
go.
right, here we go. I know that song is called da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That sounds like one of our intro bits.
It really does.
So anyhow, If Darkness Had a Son will be featured on the band's upcoming album 72 Seasons, which drops on April 14th. Also, we have a clip from Weezer performing Beverly Hills with a youth choir on America's Got Talent. Was this last night or
I
something?
believe it was last night.
Okay.
Yeah, they overproduce everything, but it's kind of cool to see Weezer on that stage.
Here we go.
Dude. Shut the up! Huh. All right, it's ready to go.
Yeah. By the way, he has these labeled as
good work. Good work.
What we are going to play.
It's like getting rickrolled.
Yeah.
You got grub rolled.
Yeah.
Grub rolled.
Or you're getting joshed.
Yeah.
Josh is
I'm
like a
just
joke.
joshing you, bro.
Yeah, just joshing you. Here we go. What the hell are they saying?
That didn't know.
The next big thing I heard.
Look at all those movie stars, they're all so beautiful and clean. When the housemates scrub the floors, they get the spaces in between. I wanna live a life like that, be just like a king. Take my picture by the pool, 'cause I'm the next big thing in Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be. I love this song.
So, question. I don't watch America's Got Talent.
So the Detroit Youth Choir behind them.
Okay.
That's what you're hearing singing. And Howie Mandel made the mention.
But my question is, America's Got Talent is for people to come and be a part of a contest.
Yes, I think the Detroit Youth Choir was part of that contest.
So they were competing?
This
with
was kind of
Weezer
a
as their
wrap-up
backup
thing.
group?
I don't watch it either, so I think that they came out and it was sort of a special thing.
Okay.
But I think that they are an act that's competing on the show, and they just
Okay.
kind of threw them into this thing.
Yeah, I don't know how it works other than people just come out and perform and then they get voted on.
Right, but they'll do these big productions.
I don't know what this means, but apparently it's All-Stars season.
It's All-Star season on AGT.
So these guys have won before.
There we go.
And then they come back. Okay, so
now I
that's
have
what's up.
more of a frame of reference to not care about.
And then one last thing. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon turns 50 years old today. It was March 1st, 1973, when that incredible album came out. We spent a lengthy amount of time going through and playing some alternate cuts and some isolated tracks and things like that, and discussing the album and the masterpiece that it is. Our own Pierre Robert is going to play the whole thing today.
And you know he's going to have tons of info.
On vinyl.
Oh, all on vinyl?
Yes.
I must have missed that part.
2 o'clock. It's the vinyl cut. So he will play both sides of Dark Side of the Moon. That's right, gang. There was a time you had to flip it over in order to get to the next part. And that is what's going to happen today. So can't wait. Excited to hear that.
Great flipping years.
Pierre Robert today, 2 o'clock, Dark Side of the Moon. If you've never listened to the album in its entirety, if you're either on the younger side and you're not familiar with it, or if you just never got around to do it at one time or another, why not do it on this 50-year anniversary? Because it's a special listen.
Close the door in your office, shut off the lights, lay down on the floor, and crank it up.
Yes. At your office?
At your office.
Yeah. Or if you're driving, close
you
your
could do the
eyes.
same
Close
thing.
your
too.
eyes.
Yep. All right, and that's my last item in music news. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. We'll get the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. But before we do anything else, how about a $25 gift card to Rita's Water Ice? Caller number 10, you get it. And Rita's is back, Rita's is open and serving up ice custard, gelatis, blendinis, concretes, milkshakes. Come see Casey Boy this afternoon. He will be at the Rita's location on Eagle Road in Havertown from 3 to 5 today. So stop by. Back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston
could get away with.
You could.
But
You're not embarrassed about it,
I couldn't
right?
subscribe. Penthouse, maybe. But then when you get into your Hustlers and We and, whatever the other magazines Cherry.
Wouldn't it blow your mind that people would get home delivery? Like, because I remember, there were subscription cards in these things for the other magazines. Like, who's getting Sweaty Vagina magazine at home? Here's your bills, and that looks like a good issue. Now, obviously, they would seal them specifically for the mailing, but still, you could tell what it was.
I never had subscriptions. The only one that I had were there's other two I mentioned earlier. But I was totally into scary movies when I was younger. So Fangoria. What's the other one?
There was Fangoria, there was Starlog, there was Famous Monsters of Filmland, there was, like I said, the Monster Times was another one of them. Another one? Am I missing them?
You're missing one. There was Fangoria, not Fantasia. It was
Biggins?
Yeah.
Jugs. Jugs, and they're
Areolas.
People that are reminding us the names of
Butthole.
Some of the other. I subscribe to Butthole magazine.
What's this one about?
It's a picture of a guy with a pipe. I'm a butthole reader. For this Christmas, give Dad what he wants.
Yeah.
Butthole.
Steve, what are you reading?
I'm reading Butthole, Preston. Telling me how I can set up my stereo. Apparently, you have to run the cords through your butthole.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what are you reading there?
Oh, I was just reading Butthole magazine, telling me how to get a more effective home theater. Apparently, it works better if you put the cord through your butthole.
Huh.
Oh my God. Oh, this is the 10 tastiest cheeses for the holidays. Many of them are better if you put them in your butthole. Some guy with an ascot on.
Everything.
Lord Buddington.
An ascot.
And butthole. An abscot. Oh my God. Okay. You know what? I think now that I'm reminiscing, fondly about Butthole magazine. No, I'm pretty certain it had to have been Mad Magazine. Had to have been my very first subscription to anything.
I'm going to say likewise.
Yeah.
I loved it so much, and do you remember when you would see something in it, and it's not like you could do today, obviously. You would look at this, you'd lend the magazine.
I never read it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only thing that I know that what you're talking about is Alfred E. Neumann and that little thing in the back.
But Preston,
the fold.
So Case, not only would you have the picture in a lot of these cases, but what you would love is in the background there'd be like flies with little fly lines around them.
Yeah.
Or there'd be these little things that they would do to just augment the picture that made it great.
Yeah, agreed. And
the artists were great.
There were almost little Easter eggs throughout as well, and outside of the frames
all
and
over
things
the
like
place.
that.
Yeah.
So you really had to. You could spend a lot of time reading the magazine. It wasn't just you pick it up and tear right through it. I mean, I would hang on to them and go back and see things that I would miss the first time around.
I remember laughing out loud, as a kid, and one of the first times really laughing that profoundly, and that carried over to National Lampoon, which again, great memories of that. And Nick, you saw the documentary about
with Will Forte.
Yeah, and they
phenomenal.
I remember they did a piece on. It was an old style brochure for the largest ocean liner ever built. I think it was called the Tyrannic. And the artist illustrations were done in that sort of Art Deco style, where, they drew the ship on such an enormous scale that you were just howling with laughter.
Yeah.
You can't describe it. You have to see it. But to have that reaction from a magazine that you're sitting there, to read something and laugh that loudly is just... you don't get that.
Mad Magazine had published 550 issues prior to its reboot, by the way, which was in 2018, I believe. DC purchased Mad Magazine in 2017, but they're going to hang it up. At its height, it had 2.8 million subscribers.
Now they took
which was in 1973, I think.
They took a big hit when editor Max Sherman went over to handle the chores at Butthole. And,
yes, exactly.
Do you know what you're getting into over there at Butthole?
Oh my God. Butthole magazine. Someday.
I'm curating their wine list.
Yeah.
Apparently it tastes better when you drink it from someone's butthole.
But it's sad. It's sad that it's going away, even though I haven't, actively been a subscriber for a couple of years. But nonetheless. Anything from Silicon Valley to Patriots Day to Crazy Rich Asians to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jimmy O Yang. Yeah. How you doing, Jimmy?
Morning. I'm doing well. It's
Excellent.
great.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Patriots Day, you were fantastic in.
Thank you so much. Sadly, not a lot of people watched it.
Your character was the one who was kidnapped, held hostage by those guys, and eventually escaped and alerted the police. Hey, I know where these guys are. I know who they are. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, that guy was amazing.
Yeah.
Danny Mang, Chinese immigrant, college student, and this is about, of course, the Boston Marathon bombing. Yeah. And I bugged him every other day. Spoiler alert, he stays alive, in the movie.
Yeah.
So I bugged him every day when I was in Boston, and we had dinner, went to Chinatown every other day. He was a really nice, warm guy, and he came to the premiere and tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, I think you did a great job.
That was
there
nice.
you go.
Is stand-up comedy where you kind of started, or acting, or where'd you begin?
That's where everything started. I started doing stand-up at the Ha Ha Comedy Club. In L.A. I had to pay $5 for 5 minutes of stage time.
You were born in Hong Kong, correct?
I was born in Hong Kong, yeah.
Came here. I know you have a book called How to American, An Immigrant's Guide to Disappointing Your Parents.
Yes, that's true.
And so you're working at a financial firm, or where was it?
Yeah, it was Smith Barney, which was under Citigroup. And I graduated 2010 from college, which is right after the financial crash of 2008.
It's a perfect time.
Nobody in finance was hiring, and nobody was going to trust a 22-year-old kid with their money.
Right.
So my dad hooked me up with an internship, and one day he came home, he was like, Jimmy, great news. They're going to hire you full-time. You're going to be a great financial advisor. And literally, tears of joy was coming out of his eyes. And I thought that was just the worst news ever. That to me sounded like a death sentence, And I just didn't know how to tell him. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I had to, disappoint my parents in order to not disappoint myself.
Yeah.
That was the creed that I lived by. So after college, I did that internship for a little bit just to appease my dad. And then after that, I got 3 jobs when I graduated. I was a used car salesman. I worked at a comedy club as a doorman in exchange for stage time, and then I was a strip club DJ at night. So I did all those 3 things, still not knowing what I wanted to do. But
311 93.3 WMMR. I was trying to think of how you say 311 in Spanish. Tres once?
Once, yeah.
Tres once?
I took French.
How would you say 311 in French?
Can someone French tell me how to say 311?
Trois onze.
Trois onze.
Trois. Un, deux, trois.
Oh, trois.
Onze is 11, yeah.
Right. 311, nonetheless. Anybody know Portuguese? Portuguese?
My brother do.
All right, so Down is the song. It is 10:35. It is Wednesday, and we are wrapping up our program for the day. And we would like to thank you for being a big part of the program and calling in with all your stories and things today. And Fox 29 did a little check-in with those guys, but that's all I have in the back cell that we call
That's
it.
all we need. We're just on this juggernaut till this event at the end of the week.
Yeah, we're getting prepped for that. Obviously, Cardboard Classic is on Friday, so a lot of our attention is being paid on that, and we're excited about it. I can mention that Casey's going to be at the Rita's Water Ice on Eagle Road in Havertown today.
Excellent.
Delco.
Yeah.
From 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And you can stop by and see him. That's not too far from where you live, right?
No.
It's
As a
easy
matter
drive.
of fact, it's I go to the gym right there, so I'll probably be freshly sweaty.
Okay.
God,
God damn it.
Out of the gym. No, it's glistening sweat, Kath. Because I'll probably work out and then
Will you rub some ice cream on your face?
I'll steam in the sauna afterwards because the hot tub is out of commission.
Hi, where are you ladies from?
And then you can go over to Kabuchi and pick up a tuxedo.
I could do that. By the way,
why don't you work out in a tuxedo today? I would love to see you full on exercising in a tuxedo.
Steve Castle, if you're listening right now, have a tuxedo ready for me. I promise you.
You would.
I will.
I know.
I totally will.
I know.
And then should I soak in the hot tub? Oh, wait. Oh, no. The hot tub's out of commission.
Yeah. But you can go in the sauna. Oh, my God.
I'll do it.
On Christmas Eve one year, there was someone there in a full Santa suit working out.
Oh, my God.
I like that.
It was
love
cool.
it. That's excellent.
Do you take showers at the gym?
Sometimes. And really, it's because I don't like to shower in the morning. So, like, I'll just do it there. I'm like, okay.
You don't
I'm
shower in the
showered.
morning?
No, I shower at night.
I've got to shower in the morning.
Me too.
I shower twice a day usually.
I know a couple, this man and his wife, they've been married forever, and they always take a shower right before bed.
Yep. I know people who do that.
Together?
And, I mean, even if we've been up hanging, no, not usually together, but we'll be up hanging, having wine. It'll be 11:30, 12, and they will say, all right, let's go to bed. Let's get in the shower. I go, yeah, are you out of your mind?
I'm a shower before bed. That's what I do. So
Really?
I'm like Casey. I'm at night. So right, like the latest possible, right before bed. I will take a shower.
You don't shower in the morning?
I do not shower in the morning, and then I will work out after here, and then I'll shower after that. So I kind
You
of
shower twice?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I shower with Casey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
That's cool.
Oh,
You guys
very
save
generous.
water.
Preston, we might be the cleanest people in here.
Probably. I shower twice. Absolutely.
Yeah, twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a week.
Yep. I'll shower before
3 times max.
work and then after workout.
I only shower at night if I've been crawling through the gutter, which is usually every Saturday. Every Saturday
So on
night.
Saturdays.
Saturday night.
You rescue
yeah.
those baby alligators.
Yeah. You meet the most interesting people in the gutters.
Sure you do.
Oh, yes.
All right. So we ready to get the letter, sir?
You bet.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
E as in express.
All right. And 2 more to go, and then we give away the 3 cases of the new Surfside Starter Pack, a variety of their lemonades and iced teas, plus a Surfside hat, 2 Stateside Rocks glasses, Surfside Tin Tacker metal sign and flag.
Tin Tacker.
Surfside iced teas and lemonades are proudly made with Stateside vodka and have only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and are 100% non-carbonated. And if you can visit statesidevodka.com to find a retailer, and it's always summer with Surfside. So we'll give that away on Friday while we're at the, I almost said Camp Out for Hunger, or at the Cardboard Classic. So we're getting set for that. I'm sure you got lots of stuff planned today.
Lots, as some of it you mentioned, but we will also, in addition, have the Struts tickets to give away. We announced yesterday, right before noon, I think, or during the noon hour, that the Struts would be coming to the Fillmore July 22nd. It goes on sale Friday, so we'll have Struts tickets to give away. We have workforce blocks of The Who for Roger Daltrey's birthday, Offspring, Joan Jett, and as you mentioned, at 2 o'clock, all of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl for probably an hour-long vinyl cut. We'll probably do side 1, take a break, then do side 2. But in addition, I've mentioned this before, but I have Roger Waters' demo tape for Money.
Wow.
It's 2 minutes long, and it sounds nothing like the original. And I've done Weeks before, and I think I need to do another one soon. I love, it's like what I call under construction. I love demo tapes where you hear an early version of a song that morphs into something entirely different. The cash registers are at the end, and it just sounds like he recorded it in his basement, and it's really cool.
I love that.
I will open it with the demo version of Money, and then we'll do the whole full thing on the on vinyl.
Excellent.
Is it possible? What's your favorite Floyd album? Is Dark Side of the Moon? I'm a big Floyd fan myself, so it's hard to say. But we said earlier the most solid all the way through would be Dark Side of the Moon, with the other albums being masterpieces.
Yeah,
as well.
Wall is a close second because I've seen the Wall production, and I saw it in Berlin when he did it, and
it's amazing.
I saw it in the indoor show and the stadium tour. I don't know. I'd be bouncing back and forth between the two of those. It's a tough choice.
Yeah.
But there you go.
There you go. I want to thank our sponsors. President Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the President Steve Show runs on Dunkin', and Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and finally, J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, and you can visit jdog.com for more information. Tomorrow on our program?
Very special guest, Nick.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Joining us tomorrow morning on the Preston and Steve Show.
Seriously? Or is that a
Yeah, no,
joke?
really. Yeah.
That's for real.
Casey booked it. He just forgot that he booked it earlier in the show.
He's
today.
doing a one-man show where he plays Tim Daly.
Excellent.
So we will get to that and more. And we're going to leave you with music from another a birthday boy we mentioned earlier this morning. Harry Belafonte always plays us out on a Wednesday morning. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. And we'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.